Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Hope you're well. Hope you've had a good week so far. Saturday, of course, the start of, at least for those of us in the UK, a bank holiday weekend. And for once, I'm not working on the bank holiday, which is nice. Good afternoon to all of you in the live chat, wherever you are in the world. Dwyle, AMPS Gaming, Badger, Lazaros, Kalispera, hello everybody. Ian, good evening to you and Scott. Tim, good afternoon. Ashton, good morning. You don't need to board the crew. GSX. Let's do catering as well. Let's do it all. Rab, welcome. Dan, hi. And everybody else tuning in. We're at Miami with the PMDG 737-800. My favourite aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yeah, back in the day when they first released the 737-700, I thought that it wouldn't really capture me as much as it has, but yeah, been totally sucked into how good this the 737 actually is to fly. It's the perfect sim aeroplane, so really looking forward to being back in the 738 today. Loads flying along as well, all dotted around Miami, which is really good to see. Chris, welcome. Living on a Play, Information Alpha, welcome. Yeah, good, thank you, buddy. Are you watching from 38,000 feet again? Oh, I love that. You're still the only person to have ever done that. Zato, greetings. Adrian, welcome on board. Goes without saying, title gives it a bit of a clue. We are off to the new SLH sim design, St. Kitt's Robert L. Bradshaw International Airport today, out of Miami, real route with American Airlines in a 737-800, and we are giving away one copy to a lucky subscriber. Once we get airborne, we will... Hergy, hello. Yeah, once we get airborne, we're going to fire ourselves into Nightbot to activate the giveaway. And as always, all the terms and conditions are in the live stream description. Basically, via a link, it will take you to a PDF document which will tell you all of the terms and conditions. It's free to enter, depending on where you are in the world, though. You've got to make sure you comply with your local laws as well as that of England and Wales, which is the legislation based on the terms and conditions for today's giveaway. Dursey2, greetings. So, let's dive into it. Whilst we've got all of the ground crew working around the aeroplane, we're going to have a little look to see what we are going to expect for today. So to start, as the fire trucks move towards the runway on standby, we'll have a look at Navigraph. So beginning at Delta 37, which is kind of here where Spot 8 is roughly on Concourse Delta, we're going to push and start to face west. Once we've started the engines, we'll probably go November 8 Mike, all the way out to Mike 1 for the threshold 08 right, or even Mike 2 to be fair. Looking at the D ATIS for Miami, the real life ATIS, which you can find online for a lot of American international airports. It gives us weather data, which suggests to us, as you can see on the Navigraph charts as well at the moment, there's a 2 knot, oh, it's a 2 knot headwind now. Happy days. Might have to rerun the data if that's the case. Because we were configured for a toga departure, but now that wouldn't necessarily be the case because we're taking off into a slight headwind instead, which changes the performance actually quite considerably. Nice, so we'll be switching all that up as well. Taking off, runway heading 092 degrees. It's a bit weird this, because realistically they should update the runway heading to 09, right? But they haven't. I guess that's because of this one down here being 09 itself as well. We're taking off on the Cladda 2 departure, RNAV departure, heading initially runway heading, well actually slightly north, little left turn kink 092 degrees. And then 08 right, 124 degrees to Jamba, Kabola over the coast, and then away towards the BITAC transition. From there, heading over the Caribbean, initially over the Bahamas. In fact, we can go to, is it the world map, or it might be VFR? Yeah. There's usually some nice charts. Turks and Caicos Islands, passing north of the Dominican Republic, and then Puerto Rico, I think it is, literally cutting that in half before heading down towards St. Kitts and Nevis, arriving at Robert L. Bradshaw, which we're expecting an approach for the RNAV runway 07 by GABA, which will kind of look like it has, will look like that little orange section there. But we've still got bits to do. We've still got passengers loading. We will reset the charts. 50% baggage. Yo, welcome, buddy. Been with us for 21 months, Gold Frequent Flyer. Thank you for your ongoing support. David, good afternoon as well. SSC Baller, welcome. Good to hear, good to hear. We are on VATSIM today, Spawn Gaming. No ATC yet though. Carlito, welcome. So, on the route page, beginning here, you can see that we have got our company route added in, and the departure 08 right. David A, good morning. Our flight number American 318, and then our departure. So initially the Clada 2 via BITAC, followed by some airways, and then a gap from GABA, because we haven't yet committed to the arrival into St. Kitts just yet. On the takeoff page, we're going to have to change all this now because of the slight headwind with 08 right now, as opposed to a slight tailwind. So we're still sticking with flap 5. But now it wants us to use an assumed temperature of 38 degrees Celsius and take off profile 124k D rate, and then we'll go for climb profile 2, which has therefore deleted our takeoff speeds. So on the next page, we're just going to go and check the data once more. It's changed the trim as well, actually. 150. We'll change the speed, MCP speed setting to 160 knots instead. Initial climb on the Clada 2 is 5,000 feet, and the runway heading, of course, 092 input into the heading select switch on the MCP. 6.1. 79 passengers. We've still got about 13 minutes left before we push and start, and we've got GSX fired up there giving us the stats as we prep today.
Welcome aboard American Airlines. Please place your
KMIA, yeah,
items in an
absolutely.
overhead compartment or under the seat in front of you. Small, lightweight items may be placed in the seat pocket. If you need assistance, please let us know.
Oh, look at that! It's given us a an update with catering and things as well. That's pretty cool. I mean, the caterers still haven't turned up. GSX has not long been updated to another version, so there's another new version which I've updated today, which be interesting to try out throughout the day. But unfortunately at St. Kitts we don't yet have a custom profile available for it. If you enjoyed today's live stream, of course, make sure you press the like button throughout today. If you're new to the channel and you want to enter the giveaway, make sure you subscribe as well.
Catering vehicles are on their way.
Jolly good. We'll see what catering trucks turn up. SSC Baller, it's British Avgeek. Nice and easy. That's all good, that's all set. That's set to RTO. Window heats on, voice recorders on manual. And your dampers on. We'll pop the left aft pump on, ready for the APU in a moment. And we need to do our pressurization panel. Cruise flight level 370. Too far, there we go. And then with the QNH at the moment, well, we're pretty much 0 feet, so we'll leave the landing altitude the same. Res, we're using the Latin VFR Miami scenery. $2987. So the altimeter setting has changed ever so slightly. There we go. Good evening, Evile, so welcome. the trucks here yet? Oh yeah, let's change to 1228. We'll leave that on, that's set to 2000. Oh, that's cool. There's an American Airlines pack of liveries, which is what I've downloaded for today. And this is included within it. There's a One World logo jet, there's a few others as well, but they've made it specific to what it should look like in the flight deck and the right kind of settings and things. And hence that little that kind of image, if you like, of the checklist selector thing there as well. Gamer LN, yes. Open entry aft. Should be done automatically, it has. Wait for these to load up. Expecting block time today of about 3 hours. Mats, welcome. I mean, last time we flew into Miami here, I was on my old computer, and it was really stuttery, quite tough to kind of use as well. Actually, there's an ATR. My goodness, there's no way they're flying that and keeping up if they're coming to Miami. My God. Good to see an A330 there as well. We're in the headwind A330 Neo tomorrow, checking out the latest development branch updates to that freeware aircraft. And we've got 2 sectors tomorrow, which are going to be awesome around Canada. Vancouver into Calgary to check out the new Calgary scenery from F-Sim Studios. And then after a little turnaround there and a little explore, we're going to be heading to down to Colorado, so crossing into the States to complete the 2nd sector tomorrow, which is going to be a really good little journey. And we've had back Canada speak to us as well, and they're organising some ATC for us, which is going to be really cool. David, no worries at all, buddy. Lots and lots of Osprey, really exciting. Back Sim Canada, hoping for a similar turnout tomorrow as well. Rab's airborne, my God. How are we doing on the old cargo? Actually, let's see what it looks like from the inside and the galley. Oh, there he is. Adrian, all the time. Always flying Batsim.
Miami traffic, American 344 via Mike 1, lining up runway 8 left, taking off clouded to departure.
Oh, jolly good, done. So, we're almost ready.
Miami traffic, Osprey 490 taxi.
Scott, you'll be fine.
By November 7th, Mike.
Okay, let's get the AP fired up then. We're almost ready.
Miami traffic.
So, pumps goods. APU start. If you're wondering what the cabin announcements are, no doubt I'm going to get some comments. If you're watching this on demand, this is your answer. It's the Luke Air tool. It's freeware. It's available via flightsim.to. Take you to their installer, which is better, easier to use just on their website, lukeairtool.net, all one word. I don't know, SSC. That's up to you. Spawn Gaming, so the biggest difference, I've covered it in some of the VATSIM tutorial named regional differences that I've done a little while ago, so it's worth checking that out, about some of the differences you will explore and kind of experience when you're flying in different parts of the world on VATSIM, things like accents and some of the nuances with particular airports around the world as well. And in America, you might get things like descend via the star, which will be basically you descend yourself to the constraints through the arrival instead. You might also have departures, which like we'll get tomorrow, the Vancouver 2 out of Canada, which will have fly runway heading, and then you're vectored to the transition by ATC. If you're of course then on Unicom, you'll have to vector yourself instead. Right, Max automatic leads. Oxygen's good. I'm doing good. Two more passengers left, and we're going to prep for departure. This is Parallel 42's flow probe, by the way, as well. That'll be another question I get every day. Prepare for pushback.
Miami traffic, American 344 is passing 3,000 feet, Miami traffic.
And again, it depends in where you are in the world, to be honest. A lot of them are pushback at your own discretion and all that sort of stuff. But again, it depends on the airport you're flying from.
Ready for pushback.
Park brake is on and set. Wheel chocks removed.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin in.
Yeah, it's just a GSX thing. It will close in a moment. You should have done it with that, really, when you do wheel chocks removed. Doors. It shows as closed. That's the weird thing. So it's just one of those. It's not yet. Oh, it has closed now. No idea. It does funky things at times. Okay, so in the tanks, then we've got centre tanks have got fuel in it as well. So let's turn them all on. Showing low pressure at the moment, then the lights go out, happy days, that's good. And anti-collision lights go on. Nose right facing west on ramp.
Release parking brakes, please.
Miami traffic, Osprey 2472 is push and start from stand Delta 26 and we'll be facing to the west. Miami traffic.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Yeah, anti-collision lights on. Let's pause the music. Got engine noise to hear now. So that's all good, that's all set. Packs off. Ignition by ground. Watching the N2 rise there. Absolutely spawn gaming, yes. A lot of the time you'll find the clues in the charts. Add the fuel.
Number Delta 27 pushing back facing east.
We've got a custom GSX profile for Latin VFR's Miami, so it's giving us the accurate pushback that we require. One of the things with GSX you need to make sure you have is a really good custom profile, which allows you to then push back nice and accurately, really key if you're on VATSIM. So it's going to work through pushback for us. That's good, and you'll notice there we have auto ignition, so we don't need to worry about moving that to continuous unless it's company specific that they say to do that anyway, but I won't bother today. One less thing to worry about. Auto, good, that's good to hear. We saw one though with its thing up though.
Juliet, Papa, or we short to the right side, Miami traffic.
So while we're watching the engine start here, just going to plan my taxi route. So we're going to go, is it November 8, Mike. Mike 1.
Unlocking gear.
Lap 5. Break RTO.
205 taxiing via from stand 135 via Papa Quebec.
Isolation valves, bleed, packs, automatic probes on, although it's auto probes anyway, so if we forgot then it would be fine anyway, they would turn on automatically themselves. Make sure we've got power to the aircraft and make sure that the generators are actually giving us power properly. Once we're happy, that's all off. APU bleed is off. APU gen's disconnected, so we can turn the APU off. System page. We've got no hydraulic indications really. There's no like actual diagrams, if that makes sense. But you do say like we're going yoke right at the moment. You can see the hydraulic changes there. And the pressure.
Controller, Osprey 598, stand Delta 46, push and start, safe.
Oh my god.
Miami traffic, Osprey 490, lining up, 8 right.
That's sloppy. Engine's good, that's all fine. He's walking away. Miami traffic, American 318 is taxiing to hold point Mike 1 via November 8 and Miami traffic. That's caution recall. We're going to go LNAV, brakes off, VNAV, auto thrust. Rab, absolutely. Doesn't it make such a difference?
Miami traffic, Osprey 784 pushing back from town, Delta 42,
brake check.
west. Miami traffic.
FMC legs. And as we taxi out, the crew are going to get on with the safety demonstration.
Welcome aboard American Airlines Flight 20. We ask that you please
Which hopefully you can hear.
to the monitors located throughout the cabin for a brief
Miami
message about
traffic,
aircraft.
controller, Osprey 798, correction.
Welcome to your American Airlines flight.
Face west.
On its way to one of more than 350 destinations.
In countries across the globe.
Made possible by our more than 130,000 dedicated team members.
Who all do it for one reason. You! That's why your safety is so important to us. So let's go over some in-flight instructions so that we can get you safely on your way.
Miami traffic, Osprey 495, gate Delta 39, push and start.
To buckle your seatbelt, insert the metal end into the buckle and pull the strap to tighten. To open, lift the top of the buckle.
Right via
Good afternoon, Mike Jerry, welcome.
6, Mike, Whiskey, Mike 1, holding point Mike 1, Miami traffic.
And your seat is equipped with a push button. Insert the metal end into the buckle and pull the strap to tighten. Then fasten your shoulder belt by attaching
Nice timing, look at that. Zoom zoom.
And Miami traffic, Osprey 2472, taxi into runway 08 right via November 9.
Yeah, we're tracking this on New Sky.
And remember, seatbelt should be fastened whenever you're seated in case of unexpected turbulence. Now, make sure your seat is upright. All larger electronic devices are put away, carry-ons are placed all the way under the seat in front of you, and your tray table is stowed. Larger carry-on luggage goes in the overhead bin. If you have a handheld device, please switch it to airplane
that's
mode.
what I am doing.
If your electronic device
I'm
falls
literally
into
on
your
mic.
seat, please do not adjust your seat and contact a crew member for assistance.
Hello Clipper, great to hear. Welcome. Enjoy the flight. Bar crews are coming out. We'll assume it's a water salute. Oh no, he's going full Peruvian firefighter.
And crew member instructions. Now let's review the safety card in your seat pocket, which explains the safety features of this airplane, including the location and operation of exits and flotation devices. This aircraft is designed with escape path lighting on or near the floor. In the unlikely event of an evacuation,
Edward A330 is just floating away there.
Lights quickly and safely to the nearest exit. A sign will indicate that you've reached your exit. All exits
The only thing with AI models, isn't it? It's a little bit odd.
The nearest one. Keep in mind, it may be behind you.
Yeah, it's a tad early in Miami. Some ATC. There goes David in the ATR. He's off to, I think he said Nassau in the Bahamas.
You'll find the exact location on your safety card. When
Wonderful aeroplane, this.
Jump onto the slide and move
The
away from the
ATR.
airplane.
Such great fun.
If the cabin loses pressure, oxygen masks will drop
Part of the
automatically.
Osprey fleet, of
While
course,
remaining seated
naturally.
with your seatbelt fastened, pull down on the mask or the red streamer to start the flow of oxygen. Place the mask over your nose and mouth and put the elastic band over your head. Then pull the straps to tighten and breathe normally. Remember to always put your own mask on first before helping others. Life vests are located under, next to, or between your seat. For help locating them, see your safety card. To remove the vest, pull the tab or compartment handle to break the seal. Remove the vest from the package like this. Put the vest over your head, wrap the strap around your waist, attach the buckle, and pull tight. Once outside, pull the tab to inflate your vest or blow into the red tube. In the water, a light on your vest will automatically illuminate. If necessary,
traffic cargo left line Victor Hotel pushing back on the west cargo ramp.
The safety card shows how to use it.
It's our honor to care for you on your journey. If you have any questions, please refer to the safety card or feel free to ask any of the cabin crew as they do their final cabin check.
It is Spawn Gaming,
and as
yeah.
always, let us know if there's
Okay,
anything
trim
we can
set,
do
that's
to
all
make your journey
good.
more enjoyable.
Flap set, 5 green, auto brake RTO. Gonna go fuel flow reset rate.
American Airlines.
Mission mode's automatic.
You fly so you can soar.
And pressure panels all set as well. Bleeds are set. APU's off. Traffic mode on. Make sure we've got the transponder ready. Where's that plane gone? He's giving way, that's nice. James, no, no, no. Just the one. Miami traffic, American 318 via Mike 1, lining up for runway 08 right, taking off Cladder to departure, BITAC transition, Miami traffic. That's all good, that's all set, that's all done. Position lights, strobe steady. Chime the crew. Taxi lights off, runway turn off lights on.
Miami traffic, Oscar 784,
landing lights on.
Holding point Mike 1 via November 7, Mike. Miami traffic.
Looking into the approach path in case there's anything there. Thanks, Scott.
Miami traffic, taxiing November, make 1 for
Very
runway
good,
08
Matthew, indeed. Flying your boys today. How's your A320 type rating coming on, Matthew? Your change.
Via November 8, Mike 1.
We're going to get control visualizer active for you guys so you can see the control inputs. Stick forwards. About 40 or so %. Let it settle. Look at Miami in the distance. First time flying over Miami with the RTX 4090. And let's go. Press set. Wait for the call outs.
Miami traffic, American 6843,
lining
up to 099.
Through 80 knots, we'll start to relieve the nose wheel pressure because we're getting rudder authority now. Let's fly.
Rotate. Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. Sort out our heading there a little bit. I had to manually fly this a little bit here. LNAV, VNAV. Auto brake off. Gear lever off. Let the nose come down as we head over towards the Miami coast. Runway turn off lights off. Still following the flight directives. Looking across. CMDA engaged. The autopilot's got the plane. And we've done with the Tobii Eye Tracker our after takeoff checks, except for flaps, which are now being retracted.
Traffic control, Osprey Fahrenheit, taxi to runway 8 right via.
Here we go, Miami.
November 6, Mike.
Andrew, there's a new Calgary airport now available with Flight FSIM Studios. Look at Miami. Wow. Never ever rendered like this on my old computer. And certainly it would be so stuttery. Flying in live time as well, so of course early morning in the States here on the east coast around Miami at the moment. And here is downtown MIA. Oh, now that is cool. So smooth. We need to head in here.
American 6843 departing 09 right.
370 all the way up. Lots to do. We can enjoy the views every now and again, whilst we deal with all the tasks around flying the plane first. Set that ready. That's all good. That's all set. And flaps up, no lights. Continue. Views, please.
Traffic, Ascot 605, line out runway 05 right.
That's cool. Clipper, you just set them yourself. Well, there's the rest of downtown. Doc being pedantic as ever. The call out mats is part of the PMDG aircraft, so they're actually inside the menu.
And we do thank you for your attention. Once we have reached a safe and comfortable cruising altitude, your flight attendants will be throughout the cabin to offer you beverages of your choice, followed by our international flagship meal service. During the course of our flight, snacks and beverages will be available. If at any given point you wish to sleep undisturbed, we do ask that you kindly display all fastened seatbelts on the outside of all garments or blankets, so as your crew does do frequent safety checks. We value to see yourself that will result in having to awaken you for compliance. We thank you in advance for your cooperation.
6,000. There's the cladder transition. That's all good. Aircraft's pressurising nicely.
Private traffic, Ascot 605.
Climbing away.
Runway 08 right. That's it.
The announcements at 6,000 feet, Doc. Used to make them at 1,000 feet at VA. And some of the really close sectors. Gamer LN, no. FS realistic, I find very unrealistic. Which is ironic. We talk about it all the time. You end up paying for something, which you then turn all of the settings almost to zero because it's too unrealistic. And then, well, what's the point in having it then? Absolutely no point at all. It's just such a pointless add-on. I've tried it. It's great for general aviation flying. Really, really good for general aviation flying. But for airliners, no point. Right, the question's going to be interesting. Because it's got to be spelt correctly. Right. Lovely job. So, as always, the anti-spam thing on Nightbot is going to be enabled. So if you start to put the answer more than once, then it's in breach of the terms and conditions, and you will then find that Nightbot will have basically deleted your entry. So only answer the one time to the question. Your answer will be counted if you have subscribed to the channel, of course. And then that's it. You can kind of sit back, enjoy the service all the way to St. Kitt's, and then we'll find out who's won. So the question is this: to be in with a chance to win one copy of the SLH Sim Design St. Kitt's Airport Scenery, recently released, courtesy of AnyBuilds giving us a copy to give away today. All you need to do is answer the following question: what is the capital city of St. Kitt's? I suppose St. Kitt's and Nevis. Or what is the capital city of St. Kitt's and Nevis? Careful on the spelling. Doesn't matter about whether you use capital letters or not, but the spelling, of course, naturally is important. And good luck to everybody who enters. Make sure, of course, you read the terms and conditions before you do enter. Andrew saying there, I think the British Avgeeks channel has some of the best variety of flight destinations and different aircraft flown. It's always refreshing to see new routes and scenery, Luke. Great to hear, Andrew. Really appreciate that. The chuffy neck. Hold on a second. We're on max rate climb here for traffic. Gonna come right. Just to really come out of conflict. Out the way, David. You're too slow. Fantastic. Wow. Disaster averted. Hopefully he's got some really good screenshots there as well. Definitely if you were on the left hand side of the aeroplane, I think passengers would have had poo come out. He's so small that you couldn't really see him until the last bit. Yeah, see ya. We're gone. Out of the way. It is, David. I tried to get out of the way. Caution, wake turbulence. We say as we look back and David's hurtling to the ground. Oh dear. Okay, I appreciate that. Not only some of the best variety, says here on the channel, but also hands down the most impartial points of view. Hasn't sold his soul for free products like some others. That's very kind of you to say. Yeah, I think being impartial, open and honest is the most important thing when you're doing stuff like this. Yes, a company could pay for some advertising slots. They could say, please look at this and be really positive about the scenery and all that sort of stuff. But even if you receive a product for free for the purpose of reviewing it, you've got to be honest, because if I say something is good, it might then help you guys decide that you're going to buy it as well. And if that's not accurate, that's not fair, because it's your money being spent as well. I think that's really important. Honesty, impartiality over anything else. That said, over so Monday and Tuesday, in fact, you're going to see a community post on the channel, a tweet, and then a post on Facebook and Instagram as well. In short, there's you've probably seen it across different news sites and things like that as well, but there's this new product coming called Mini FCU by Mini Cockpit. They're launching on Kickstarter on the 31st of May, and they've asked me to help advertise at the start of those two live streams, Monday and Tuesday. They've asked me to just put a little advertisement at the beginning just to help promote their products that they are trying to create and release for the sim. And it looks really, really good. So in short, Monday and Tuesday's live stream is going to have about 2 minute, 1 minute advert at the start, just to kind of show that product off as a new thing, talk about it a little bit, and there you're going to see also 24 hours before it goes live, you will be seeing as well a couple of community posts and things like that too, for a product that's going to launch on Kickstarter, which I've used before, and it's pretty good. I've had some good stuff off Kickstarter, to be fair, dash cams and all that sort of stuff. Clipper, very kind. Thank you very much. Oops, there we go, through transition. Oh, I forgot something. Definitely not Matthew. Yeah, that's it, Arco. And I'll make it very clear it's an advert and all that sort of stuff. That's why I'm talking about it now as well in advance. And you'll see the little hashtag ad at the very bottom of the community post as well. But they're effectively supporting the stream as a June sponsor. So they've paid me a little bit of money to try and help support the channel through the month. And all they've asked for in return are those 2 little ad slots at the beginning of 2 live streams, Monday and Tuesday, and then a couple of posts on social media as well. So that's all. It's only a small ask, and it helps support the stream, all that sort of stuff as well. So very similar to when we did the FS Academy stuff, actually. Those of you who remember that, We were sponsored by FS Academy for their new products, IFR, Navigator, all that cool stuff. About 6 months or so ago, wasn't it? So very similar to that, effectively. Zato, you say, yeah, 73 Max 8 would be quite cool actually to see in the future. I know PMDG are working on one, of course, but I think it'll be coming after the 777. Neil, hello to you in the Heathrow Ops Centre. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're okay. Baking hot on the tarmac at Heathrow today, no doubt. Been really nice weather for flying, to be fair. Especially, well, not necessarily through the heat of the day, the centre of the day, but the evenings as well, and the start of the mornings. Really nice and calm and crisp. There's also saying that anybody taking heavies into Robert L. Bradshaw, St. Kitt's says medium or max auto brake is a recommended option. Don't do what I did with my 747. I don't think there's a release date yet, Andrew, for the Just Flight Fokker 28. They've certainly not announced one, I don't think. So if somebody's kind of come out and said, oh yeah, they're releasing on this date or middle of June or something like that, then I think that's just them guessing. Rabia, how many miles have you done on your bike over the last week? It's got to be near to 1,000 miles now, surely. Crazy. I mean, for you to do it in such a short amount of time is quite remarkable as well. I think last time I cycled, albeit I've got a hybrid, so it's like a mountain / road bike blended into one another. It's a bit weird, but it's a cool bike. Not rode in a long time, to be fair, but I did, was it 20 miles? Something like that, although I did stop for a little bit of sightseeing and a bit of a chill in the middle, but it took me about 3 hours. And then my legs ached for about a day after. There's the question again. Nightbot will remind you guys of the giveaway question throughout the stream on occasion. And that question, of course, being, what is the capital city of St. Kitts and Nevis? AJ Fernando. Setting in Russian would just be yes. Custom cabin in here, part of the livery. So this plus the Luke Airtool cabin announcements do add to the immersion. That's a bit weird though, but it's great to see actually they've tried to add a USB port to the side of the table, to be fair, the side of the chair. I think that's the first time I've seen any livery have that, in fairness. So pretty impressed. Now we just zoom to the back here. We've got a couple of bits. American Way magazine. I read that on a 787. Utterly pointless magazine. I don't think there was anything interesting in there. And throughout, we should just get splatters of really nice scenery like this all the way. Clipper, it's great. In fairness, I've not flown the Headwind A330 for a long time, over 6 months I think, but tomorrow we're diving back in. It's had a massive update, massive update, and we're going to be exploring the new experimental version which has VNAV, or the development version which has VNAV. Which I think is pretty awesome. So we're going to be dusting off the Osprey livery out of the hangar for the A330-900 Neo tomorrow. And we're going to be doing those 2 sectors, Vancouver to Calgary, then down into the States, into Denver, which I think was recently updated by God, who created Denver? Complete mind blank. Nope, gone. Flight Beam Studios. I think they've updated Denver recently, haven't they? To version 2. There we go. Yeah, thanks, Matthew. So we'll be flying in there for the first time as well with the RTX 4090, seeing what it has to offer. Look at that. This is the first time in this whole region with the new computer, and it looks completely different to how it was before. And you guys get to watch it in 2K 60 frames per second as well. Win-win. If your internet's quick enough, of course. I mean, look at the blue in the ocean. Very good. Look at that. Stunning. It certainly does, Juliet Charlie Mike. Yeah, the A330-900 Neo in Osprey on New Sky has been really quite profitable. Got a couple of those screenshots onto Volanta for our flight so far, and as we zip over to Bahamas now, we have a look at Volanta. Got quite a few ahead of us. Badger, Bjorn, American 344, we've got David Osprey 490 there in the 737. A couple of aircraft in Nassau there. And there's David Osprey 71 Alpha Golf in the ATR that we zipped on past. Zato behind us in the 738, chased by Ascot 2205, Scott. Graham Osprey 5969 Charlie. Liam Osprey 094 in the A330, Osprey 569 Charlie, that's Graham. Yeah, it's Graham. And then Ian, Osprey 2472 in the oh, he's nice in the 737-900, very exciting. And then zooming in onto the ground, we've got Carlito just airborne. Zukoku just about to take off, NPS as well behind him. And then Takumi Fujiwara, the Cargo Lux 9 Victor Hotel at 748 at the cargo stand, heading off in the same direction as us too. Very cool. Look at that. Nice little fly along today. What a great way to spend the weekend. I'm trying to slowly get all of these screenshots uploaded. Whether it takes it or not is another matter entirely, but they seem to be going on actually today. So you'll see the screenshots on Volanta in due course. Ready drone cam. Thought that was a bit skewy. Rada Shadow, welcome. Read that as the PMDG 737 giveaway. Just came out for me on Xbox. Not going to be able to get it for a while. Not in the budget just yet. Yeah, of course, it's released on Xbox. Really exciting for you guys flying the console. Matthew saying the 737 guys get to do a lot of island hopping down there. The trade-off is that you have to stick between your legs and you have to eat off your lap. Yes, of course. Now you're going full on Airbus speak. Zata says I should have put 2K 60 frames per second RTX 4090 stream, not clickbait in the title. I should have done actually, shouldn't I? Max graphics. Beast Boy, uninstall it and reinstall it. It's the only thing I can suggest really with that, and did not know that, Andrew. Very cool. Beast Boy, I said just uninstall it and then reinstall it again to see if that maybe kicks it in. Hopefully that will help kind of jog its memory and make it work better. I could do, couldn't I, Zato? Do a 144p stream one day. Well, I think the lowest it does is it 144? It might be actually. It is 144p. The lowest YouTube goes down to. Imagine only being able to stream in that quality. By the way, tomorrow, for those of you flying along, if you wanted to, instead of use Osprey, if you wanted to use a real airline, then WestJet operates a real service on both of those sectors. And in the 737-800 actually, I think. So that is an option for you. What a landscape. What's interesting with the shadows is they are maxed out, and we still have the weird kind of shadow texture that we had on my old computer as well. Don't really know how to get rid of that then, because everything's now maxed out effectively. Ian, nice, yeah. Beast Boy says I can't delete it. I said uninstall it. You should be able to uninstall the Ops Center. Failing that, Beast Boy, what you need to do is go into the file, basically where the PMDG Operations Center is installed on your PC. If you go into there, there's a Ops Center Updater executable file. If you double click that, it manually forces an update, because you might be using an older version perhaps, but then it depends really. I assume it's not like a cracked version. I assume it's a genuine copy of the PMDG 737, because if it is, we can help you. If not, I can't. Need to change to 4K shadow maps, Robert says. That's not in the sim, is it? I don't think. Oh, I know what I was going to do. Need to try and move the overlay slightly. There we go. Now it fits better. I noticed the other day it was all a bit skew-if again. Need to do it manually via config. Oh, interesting. You might have to help me with that after the stream somehow then. I mean, you're kind of used to it, but then when it's dancing around there, it looks really weird, doesn't it? And then all it does is it make you kind of choose a different view and say, oh no, they're still there. There we go. You end up just picking a different view that doesn't have the shadows. All of those. I've set some slightly new custom views for the A330-900 tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to kind of actually testing out. Chris, thank you, buddy. That's very kind of you. I might go full American, go Mach 80. I assume if you were flying, oh, Matthew might be able to help with this a little bit better. I assume if you're flying this with American Airlines, you would end up flying the return sector as well. You wouldn't be just doing the return. You wouldn't do the one leg and have a night stop and fly back, would you? Look, head to pmdg.com and purchase it. It's on the PMDG website. Johan, thanks buddy. Very kind of you. Thanks for the tip. South African Rand. Very nice. The giveaway, Nook, is for SLH Sim Design's new St. Kitt's Airport scenery. Yeah, a lot of the flights in this region, Doc, with American Airlines operate the same same flight number. All you got to do is answer the question correctly, Captain Sam. So if you've subscribed to the channel, all you need to do is answer one question correctly. Only put the answer once, otherwise the anti-spam feature on Nightbot removes the entry. All you got to do is answer this. What is, in fact there's the question in the chat, what is the capital city of St. Kitts and Nevis? David says he's enjoyed the headwind A330 but had a crash to desktop 3 hours into a 5-hour flight the other day. You think his GPU gets overwhelmed on long flights for some reason. There's nothing more frustrating, is there, than kind of getting a couple of hours in, or even right towards the end of the flight, something goes wrong and you have a CTD. It's a massive frustration, isn't it? Oh, look at that. That's cool. That tiny little airport there on the, I was going to say atoll. I suppose it probably is an atoll, isn't it? Yeah, a lot of people using DirectX 12. If you're on the RTX 4090 like that I've got, or the 4000 series GPUs generally, I don't think they have many problems with it, it seems. But if you're using the 3000 series and older generation GPUs, that's when I think people are getting the issues with the... I think that's where people are getting issues with the crash desktops and things like that. Because I've been running DirectX 12 since well, since I had the new computer delivered in February. Start of March, I think, middle of March. Touch wood, I haven't had any issues yet. Let's see how creative we can get with some of these screenshots. Yeah, it's probably as good as we're going to get. Oh, look at the distance over there. That's spectacular. SSC, if you've entered, then you've entered. You only enter the one time, otherwise it voids your entry because it goes against the spam part of the terms and conditions. You only need to enter the one time, and then we won't draw the winner until the end. It just suggests to me you've not bothered reading the T's and C's. Read the terms and conditions, folks. I spend time typing it up so that you understand how the giveaway works. Beast Boy, the only thing I can suggest there is I'd probably suggest maybe going on to the PMDG website, log into your account via the PMDG, and then lodge a support ticket to get some assistance from them. Where did you buy it directly from PMDG, Beast Boy? Oh, Zato taking 250 points from me. Tony, yeah, the YouTube have gone a little bit more Twitch-esque now with a whole load of new stuff. So they're changing the shopping tab apparently to make it more enjoyable and easier to kind of look at the merchandise that the channel provides. And then there's various other little features that they're bringing in apparently. I think that's auto ads is one of them. Although there was a pop-up at the bottom of my screen a moment ago that said something about cancelling. So maybe it was that, but I'm gonna keep an eye on it actually now. Tony, my God. Maybe I'll keep them on. Was it a cheap funeral? I do need a cheap funeral director. Beast Boy, I mentioned a moment ago how to do that. In fact, there's information on how to do it on the PMDG forums, Beast Boy. So you're probably better off looking and reading through the PMDG forums really, because it will show you a step-by-step on how to manually update the operations center. They've put it all together on the forums instead. Forgot how nice this region was to fly around. RGD, just answer the question that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 comments up in the live chat. Oh dear. Every time we have a giveaway. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, I did see that actually. Thanks. So yeah, the shadow fixes we were talking about a moment ago. Chris has put a little bit in the crew room chat, linked to the instructions on how to do it in there for us. Andrew, Concorde. So INS is coming to Concorde soon, apparently, according to DC Design. So I think when that comes, we might revisit Concorde again, but not sure, because it has got some glaring issues with it, hasn't it? Not least the way the afterburners and all that sort of stuff work. Though it is good fun, it's not sure. How can I say it? It's not particularly VATSIM friendly, is it? David, yeah, you haven't seen them. If you go back to the Osprey Airways 737 livery, you should see two folders. There will be blended wings and a split scimitar wing option, but both are available. At least for maybe for the 737-800, I think. But I'm sure we've got it available for the 737-700 as well. I'm not 100% certain, but if that isn't the case, let us know in Discord, and we'll see if Tapsy can do a quick update to add it in, perhaps. Who knows? Tony, the 737-800 is great fun. The 600's really fun in itself because it's a little pocket rocket. But the 800 is kind of the catch-all, do everything, take you anywhere kind of aeroplane. And if you like the real ops, you can make the most out of the real ops as well. with aircraft like the 737-800. Chris, I've got your email, thank you very much. All you have to do is find your userconfig.opt file, find the following line and change it to 4096. Epic. Oh, that's easy. If you feel lucky, you might as well try 8192 for 8K shadows. Clipper, not particularly, no I haven't actually, to be fair. I don't think I have. Not intentionally at least. Kevin, we're trying it tomorrow, buddy. So the second live stream of the weekend is tomorrow, same time as always, but we'll be in the Headwind A330. Flying Vancouver into Calgary, the new Calgary airport, and then we're going to do a turnaround and then fly back out. We'll head down to Denver. Rab says just past Margana, beautiful island. Tony, the following line is the bit that says shadows max slice count 4 size, and then that's where you update the size to 4096, and then below that it should say max dist 10,000.000000 D-light contribution culling thresholds something. It'll make more sense if you've got it. Nice. I mean, part of me is tempted to bring it up in the sim while we're flying along, but I just think that would be tempting fate, wouldn't it? It'd be like pressing the off button on the PC. Kevin, you're more than welcome, buddy. Hopefully, if you're available tomorrow, we'll be exploring the new Calgary airport scenery there. FSIM Studios have sent me a copy to have a little look at, seeing as we were flying in there anyway. And we shall see how good it is. It would be good to see how much progress has been done on the A330-900 Neo as well from Headwind Simulations. I was kind of taking the picture for the thumbnail tomorrow the other day for the stream, and I noticed things like sounds and everything looked a lot better as well, but the graphics now on the new computer, some of the detail that they put into the cockpit, really nice. They've got their own installer now as well, so Headwind Simulations have taken the fly-by-wire installer because it's part of the open source thing, and they've then recreated it to allow you to, or to allow them to use it as a Headwind A330 installer instead, which is really cool. Because of that, there are now 2 forks within the installer. There's the stable branch, which everybody usually uses, but then there's a development branch, which is what we're using tomorrow, and that has VNAV in it. The A330 Neo with VNAV. It's going to be great. Not for a long time, Spawn. Haven't tried the Soddy 747 in a very long time. Over a year, in fact, because it kind of seemed like the development of it got a bit stilted, got a bit stunted, and oh yeah, it just seemed like there wasn't much progress. And naturally now as well, knowing that in the next 3 to 4 weeks we're going to have the avionics and aircraft update 2, which promises to massively update and improve the 787-10 and the 747-8 by default, then we're going to have a little look at those instead once that all releases. So we'll spend a few days trying to get used to flying both aircraft again when it does finally arrive, that AAU 2 update for the sim, and we'll pick a date and pick a route. We'll fly the 747 on one day, we'll fly the 787-10 on the other day. B1AV, hello, which one should I get? Should I get the Pyreeg Devco Belfast Aldergrove scenery or the Aerosoft Brussels scenery? Massive question. It depends on what kind of flying you want to do, really. They're both very, very good, but Brussels particularly is a really remarkable bit of scenery. So out of the two, I'd probably pick Brussels. As Adam has said as well, there are more routes to choose from if you like to do the real ops. But Belfast Aldergrove is a lovely scenery as well. But probably not transatlantic, Liam, no, just because of the length of time. For those of you who don't know as well, towards the end of June, my dog's going in for a massive operation again, so I might be away from the channel for a week, 2 weeks, because he's effectively going to need round-the-clock care for a little while he recovers. When I can, of course, I'll stream. The 787 and the 747 routes, Liam, will probably most likely do some short-haul cargo type routes instead. Hopefully Pyreek Devco's East Midlands Airport scenery has been released at that point, because what we could do is fly into East Midlands with the 747-8. Yeah, poor boy, having to go back through all of these horrendous ops. Hope so, hope so. It's a massive amount of surgery he's got to go through again, but I'm hoping it's going to sort him out, give him another 4 years, 3 years at least pain-free. My TWCS throttle is driving me nuts when flying the ATR on 146 with no auto throttles. TWCS. I'm trying to think what brand that is. Crossmaster Warthog? Not sure. Kevin says he flew the A330-900 yesterday, the development version from Hong Kong and to Vancouver, my goodness, then lost autopilot after 3 hours. Hopefully we don't have that problem, though the sectors that we're doing tomorrow are shorter, but we are putting it through its paces with 2 sectors. Oh look, we've got an aeroplane going left to right. Closing track. Who is that? Blue. That is TKY 82 Romeo. Right. That Top Sky, I think it is one of our new Sky competitors, the virtual airline world. City90, thanks buddy. Yeah, in effect he's got to have his hip implant from Supervet off TV failed 5 to 10 years earlier than it should have done, and it turns out it's the wrong size. It should never have been put in, which is remarkably quite surprising, because he's effectively just done a half-assed job for money. So Loki's going to have a big U-shaped it's a right tongue tweezer this. A U-shaped section cut off his leg, off his femur, around where the implant has gone in. They're going to have to then extract the bionic hip that's already in there, that's failed, then all the cement within it, clear it all out, clean it all out, and they need to put a brand new implant in and a new hip cup as well. Reset all of that in place. Then they need to try and put the bone back on, the big U-shaped bit of bone that they've taken off, sawed off. They put that back on again. Then they're going to be attaching a titanium plate on top of it, and then putting his leg back together again. And hopefully, touch wood, that will have solved his issues. Bless him. But we never thought we'd have to put him back through anything like this. It's 3 months recovery total time. But you've got to try. Got to try. Center tanks are empty. I think they emptied about 5 minutes ago. I think there's a slight imbalance there. So even though it's a very small imbalance, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the crossfeed on. Valve open, and I'm going to turn the lowest of the two off, which is the left pumps. Aft one. Always confirm the ones you want to turn off. Otherwise you'll kill an engine. And then we're just going to let this rebalance a little bit. So we're using the right tanks now, or tank 2, to pull all of the fuel for both engines. And we're primed and ready. Should be about now. 3.87, look at that. Crossfeed off. Jolly good. Nice and balanced. Arco, my goodness, wow. Dog Lucy, Arco says, has gone through a TPLO surgery, essentially an ACL rupture repair with rods and screws. Been expensive and tough recovery process, but so worth it. She's back to living her best life. That's the main thing, isn't it? They'll absolutely hate you for about 2 or 3 months while they're going through the recovery, and then they'll forget all about it. In the dream, very nice. Boxer doing the Airbus TCA at $69.99, and it looks like a bargain. Rab says. Just, you know what? I've said it before. All of the problems people seem to get with the TCA, I really just don't get it. Scott, I don't. To be fair, no. James, yeah, that's Hems. They are remarkable. When I see them every now and again at work, do their job, and it is quite remarkable what they do. But yeah, Hems can do open heart surgery and all sorts on the street. Oh, epic, Arco. That is very cool. Roughly a similar age to my dog then as well. So Loki's 8 in September. Plenty of life ahead of him. He runs around still now, even though one of his hips have technically dislocated. He runs around like an absolute madman, and we spend a lot of time trying to keep him calm so he doesn't cause himself injury. But he's happy, and that's the main thing. Bouncing all of my screenshots back on Volanta at the moment. Cute says no, or Volanta says no. User, no, I haven't, buddy. But that's because I don't want to go through the hassle of installing the beta just because it's all hyped. I don't want to install the beta because I've got the MS Store version, so it means that when they finally release the AAU2 update proper, I have to uninstall the sim and reinstall the sim again, just to remove the beta and get the real version again. Way too much of a headache. Got no time for that. I'd rather just wait. AJ49 says, I don't care what people say, I've tried the auto ortho for X-Plane 12. Microsoft Flight Simulator is still miles ahead in visuals. It is, isn't it? It's really good. And I would say pretty much on par with the flight model and well, physics of it all and all that sort of stuff as well. Still has its issues, of course. One of those being nose wheel steering and how the aircraft interact with nose wheel steering and all that sort of stuff. Absolutely MPS Gaming. Speaking of the arrival, got a long time to go yet, but yeah, the one that MPS Gaming's on about is this, the RNAV GNSS approach runway 07 into St. Kitt's. And you'll notice there, the minimums at the very top just say LNAV with the minimums, so it looks like it's an, yeah, there we go, it's an LNAV only RNAV approach. And the CDFA there is basically in the minimums they've factored in the altitude required, or the altitude you would lose for a go around, which is about 50 feet, so they've added that into the minimums for you, and that's what CDFA is. So it gives you a slightly better margin for error. We'll be flying in via GABA, which is there, targeting 3,200 feet by Londo, then turning inbound the field 071 track, Düssel, Emeta, runway 07. A lot of terrain to the north as well. It looks like a very scenic approach, but we've got to think about separation and sequencing into the airfield because we're going to head down 07, 2,300 meter long runway. By the time we actually slow down and come to a stop, we're probably going to be around here, so we're going to be having to backtrack, and that's going to take another 2 minutes. And then we'll backtrack, vacate Charlie to the terminal. That's basically how that's going to work. So I think we need about 4 minutes separation. There is a hold at Londo. If we all end up getting all crammed in together, we're going to have to hold at Londo instead. So if I get too close to the aircraft ahead, we might have to do one orbit at Londo, which will then begin a domino effect for all the other aeroplanes behind us. And the missed approach for this is just fly runway heading track 071 degrees to Ugdell, and then hold. Interestingly, look at the arrows. It's the opposite direction to how we actually enter at Ugdell, which is really weird. So if there's an aircraft already in the hold and they're flying towards Ugdell, we're flying directly towards them as well. We've got to bear that in mind as well, but effectively we'd fly over Ugdell, and then we'd fly a bit of a teardrop entry. That's super weird. CT90, how do you move so easily in the cockpit? Just with right mouse click. Right mouse click and the little arrows left, right, up, down on my keyboard. Look at that. Very nice. How many entries we got? 50 entries so far. Absolutely, Scott. Yeah, ATC's still online at the moment. San Juan Centre. They'll be covering us at St. Kitt's if we, if they're still online by the time we get there. I'll see if he's actually actively covering it first. Gives us a window into his to see if he's actually covering us. No, he's just covering the area, but there's no ATIS available for the airport. Be on the live chat though today on YouTube. Use the METAR command, it will load it up in there so we can see what the weather is doing and get to St. Kitt's. There we go, winds 110 at 12. Slight crosswind for us then, all the nines. Few cloud at 1,700 feet. It's getting hot already, temperatures 29 degrees Celsius, dew point 24 degrees Celsius. QNH 1016. 11815. So pre-tune San Juan Center ready. What else have they got? Okay, so they've got Golden Rock VOR, and then they've got an NDB as well, so we can tune them into the multi-mode radio. So we've got VOR 1120. But the ADF is the one we want, 325. Like so. So that's going to be ADF 1 and VOR 2. Yeah, the crosswind at the moment in St. Kitt's is 10 knots. A 7 knot headwind component, according to Navigraph. That might update shortly. David, nice one. I've had a message from somebody from CZVR. Said bring the Ospreys and that they're trying to organise lots of ATC for us, which sounds quite fun. Although I appreciate for them it's going to be super early in the morning. Got somebody on TCAS really close behind. I don't know who it is. I feel like that we're going to have issues when we fly in. Is it Zato again? He's always trying to overtake. I've got one there. $20. Oh no, maybe it was just the draw distance. Look. Oh yes, because it had a big radius, that's why. David says that San Juan is up but doesn't cover St. Kitt's. Strategic. Yeah, it's literally, I'll show you on Valanta, that's the border. So, St. Martin is covered naturally with San Juan, but just after Oranjestad, at Gabba, we'll be on Unicom. So he can assist us with the initial descent. Really doesn't like some of these screenshots. He's basically effectively just covering Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, the British Virgin Islands, and St. Martin. That's pretty much it. I suppose and Anguilla, to be fair. Explain TCAS. CT90 says, so earlier on when we were climbing out of Miami and it said traffic climb, and it had, I think, orange or red, I can't remember what colour it was, for the little diamond ahead of us, which was David in his ATR climbing just in front. That's telling us that we've got to take action to avoid a collision, whereas at the minute all it's doing is it's just advising us about the location of the traffic, which is the little white diamond there. So it's saying, because it's white, it's not in conflict with us. If it goes amber, then it's something that's becoming a threat that we've got to kind of take a look at, because we might need to mitigate that risk in advance of it becoming a problem. Safer to do that and it not be a problem at all than react to an issue. And if it goes red, then we're probably going to get like a, depending on what mode we're using, we'll get a resolution advisory for us to actually, it would be say climb, descend, something like that. That's only when you're in TARA mode. If we're in TA mode, we've still got transponder on, we're still getting those little blips on the TCAS, but we're not going to get the advisories to kind of avoid the problem if it becomes one. But TCAS is well, traffic collision avoidance system is literally that. It's helping you avoid mid-air collisions. Holden Gaming, it's the Volanta toolbar. Stream overlay. Though I can't see it. It's only on the output to you guys watching the stream. Yeah, as Doc's rightly pointing out, Centre will help us separate space out, or we all descend on St. Kitt's. Oh, 1 hour ago on the Aerosoft Facebook, they put some in-development screenshots of the Joe Erland Oslo Gardermoen airport scenery, and it looks incredible. That's going to be great when that does come to the sim. See that massive bit of island there. Yeah, 100% Ashton. Of course, Hergy in the live chat made the freeware Oslo Gardermoen. Ah, see, it ruins it with that weird blockiness as it's trying to load stuff in. Ooh. Which means we have to then kind of try and do that to avoid it. See, just recenter that. Press spacebar, it recenters the horizon for you. Very handy. Really cool. I find it weird though when you're on like an external view, like this, for comparable to this, like internal. I find the resolution of everything a lot more crisp when you're looking from inside the quote-unquote cabin or the aircraft. That is the Turks and Caicos Islands. And was it Providencial is up there. In fact, there it is, just in the distance. That's their international airport. If you ever go on holiday to the Turks and Caicos Islands, you're super rich, unlike most of us. Such an expensive place. Looks remarkable though, doesn't it? But good luck trying to afford a holiday there, certainly if you're from Europe. It's rotating the drone camera though. That's what I don't get. Why is it moving the horizon? Be lots of screenshots today. It'll be sport for choice. I remember flying around there actually with it was the Edgeley Optica, wasn't it? Remember when Orbex released that ages and ages ago, and we were buzzing around all the tiny little airports around the Turks and Caicos Islands for about 3 hours, 2 hours, including that little one there that we can just see on the ground beyond the aeroplane. That was good fun for a random stream. Yeah, really good, Hergy. Looking forward to it. Like you say though, performance is big, isn't it? It's the big question on everybody's mind. Oh wow, look at that. Rab, have a look at, so you're in the UK as well, so have a look at places like Top Cashback for things like Box and Currys to see if you can get extra money off your new throttle and stuff like that you're going to buy, because it might just help you save a little bit more. You might get like 5% cashback, something like that. Could be worthwhile doing. We should probably do a little bit of prep. We're halfway point now, aren't we, for the arrival? We've still got a way to go. No, I don't, James. Not for a long time. There was one being worked on, but it was NLS simulations. Kind of just died a death, didn't it? They just disappeared. Like most freeware projects. They just wanted a big Discord server, then they realised they couldn't actually do the work that they promised, and then just disappeared, fizzled away. TKPK RNAV 07. Are we going to commit to that? What we got? Yeah. RNAV 07 via GABA. That's it. No stars. Execute. Done. Easy. Yeah, Tony, I've got the Turtle Beach Velocity 1 flight yoke and throttle. It's great for being a bit of an all-rounder. If I could, Honeycomb would be my choice though. The Susnut, hello to you, good morning. Sent forecast. We've done the weather file download from SimBrief, so we can just pull in the data we need. Like so. And there's the question in the giveaway, in the live chat again for the giveaway. To win a copy of the new SLH Sim Design St. Kitt's Robert L. Bradshaw International Airport scenery. All you got to do is answer the question, what is the capital of St. Kitts and Nevis? Giveaway, of course, courtesy of the guys at IMI Builds. Let's just check the charts, because I want to see what the transition altitude is. So it's not like the States, where everything's 18,000 feet. Look, transition altitude for departures is 5,000. So, QNH 1016, I'm going to go for 6,000, flight level 60. Like so. Yeah, lots of people rate the Thrustmaster yoke, but I think it's massively overinflated in price based on how much money you're spending against the quality, I guess, of it, and probably the amount of profit they make from it as well. For me, I think I really look for value. The Turtle Beach Velocity 1 yoke and throttle is very plasticky as well, which is why I think I would aim, if I was in the market to buy a throttle yoke or anything like that, I would be looking at honeycomb. There's just something premium about the way it looks and feels. Apparently the Turtle Beach rudder pedals are incredibly good, though I haven't got them, so I don't know. I'm still using my cheap Thrustmaster T-Flight rudders, but they still work. Okay, nice. You know what I found the other day? I was in my mum's house getting it all kind of valued and things for the purposes of probate with a surveyor, and I found my copy of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2000 with the pilot's handbook that goes with it. How cool is that? And then I found a Game Boy Advance with Crash Bandicoot. Couldn't believe it. I think that'll be the next purchase, Scott. Honeycomb, Alpha Bravo Charlie. Yeah, exactly, Hergy. And you know what I thought? I had this little moment I mentioned to one of the guys at work. I've got a plug-in DVD writer thing sat in a box I've never used. So I just never had to. I don't have any CDs for anything anymore. We're not in that era anymore, are we? It's kind of tech's moved on. And I thought, maybe if I plug that in and I try and install it on my new computer, wonder what it would look like. And then I thought, if I can get it installed, I might actually try and do a live stream with Flight Sim 2000 with an RTX 4090. But I don't know if that's too far-fetched. I wouldn't be able to fly in Bat Sim, that's for sure. The only thing I like about, so the difference there with the Bravo throttle and all that sort of stuff, I don't know how many buttons and things you have. The Turtle Beach throttle has got so many buttons, so many configurable buttons and switches, and the yoke the same as well, that it kind of covers everything you need. And I've got this really nice flow down now. Combat Flight Sim here. You know what? That must still be at the house as well. I'm going to look for it. That was such a great game. Combat Flight Simulator. We need to bring that back. Screw DCS. I want to fly bombing runs over the channel again. Do you reckon Flight Sim 2000 would actually work on this computer? I'm not sure if it would. No, James. They are, and always will be, utter crap. You may as well take 20 quid, 30 quid out of your wallet and use it as a firelighter for a barbecue, because at least then you would gain from it afterwards. Once you've cooked food, you'd be able to eat it and it would taste nice. It's great spawn gaming. Again, with the Airbus, it depends on how you calibrate it. I think you're right, Steve. Part of me is tempted to try it, but yeah, I mean, maybe it would actually maybe cause problems on my computer. I obviously don't want that. Unless you get like an emulator. You get like a little emulator, Windows 98. Flight Sim 9. I am tempted, I'm very tempted. When I saw it, I had a little 5-minute thing where I stared at it thinking, I wonder if it would work on my computer. It'd be really, really funny to try and live stream with it. Concorde out of Makesfield. That's all I ever did. Makesfield to O'Hare. I mean, I don't even know if it's worth anything. No one would buy anything like that anymore, would they? Is it not even 32-bit? Wow. I suppose it's 16-bit. Not sure. You can take the detents out, Tony, by unscrewing underneath. I think I remember people doing that a little while ago. You can unscrew from underneath and take the detents out, I think. Deep mental. There must be a way. Maybe there is. Flight Sim 9 O'Hare stream. Yeah, it had the 777 as well, didn't it? That's all I ever flew. It was a helicopter, the 777, and Concorde. I used to take off in Concorde from Magesfield. When I think about it now, I should have realised at the time, although I was a lot younger, that that would never have happened in real life. And then I'd fly to O'Hare. That's all you could do. That was the only part of the map you had. The helicopter, I'd take off, and I would take off all the way to the top of a couple of thousand feet, and then I would kill the engine and try and do an auto rotation landing back at Magesfield, and then that'd be it again. And I'd turn it off and I'd go back to Age of Empires. And to think we've come from that to what we enjoy now, it's quite remarkable in 23 years how much it's progressed and how different it is as well. Tony, no, I haven't tried any of their products, to be fair. A2A Stratocruiser and stuff like that. Not tried any of them. Cool that the flight engineer though was your voice. That's pretty remarkable. Landing flap 30 or landing flap 40? The question I'm trying to answer. So if we land flap 40 at 62.7 tons, with the current weather, reverses both. Landing flap 40, we would need order brake 3, and it'd give us a stop margin of 631 meters, which is quite a lot actually. Flap 30 would give us 490 meters stop margin. I might use that one because we're going to go past Charlie anyway, so we want to try and extend down towards the bottom of the runway as smoothly as we can to not be on the runway that long. That might be the best option. No, there's auto brake max, but that's a lot of braking. I mean, order brake max, the difference here is a stop margin of 1,042 meters. So if we use that, then we won't actually need to backtrack because it will get us almost stopped in time to vacate at Charlie. But I just feel like that would be a little bit unrealistic with backtrack. So I think we're going to go order brake 3, we'll see what happens. It's got a very small touchdown zone anyway. So if we miss or float too long, as Doc has said as well, we've got to go around. So I might do that as well, just to add to the pressure. Reminder of the giveaway question again. What's the capital city of St. Kitts and Nevis? There was, interestingly enough, there was a freeware scenery for St. Kitts, Robert L. Bradshaw International, but after about a year ago, now, they stopped developing it, and there are a couple of comments now about how it doesn't really work very well anymore. So this currently, the SLH Sim Design St. Kitt's, I think is the only version that works. Although Tropical Sim, I believe, have released a St. Kitt's airport payware scenery a little while ago, which I hadn't realised until this morning, I think, when I was Googling it, doing a little bit of research pre-stream. I think they've released one as well, so I haven't tried that, but it'll be interesting to see maybe if you have, how this one compares. We'll change that to 200, but actually what is the airport elevation? It's 168. Closest is 150. Tropical Sim have made a lot of Caribbean airports. Barbados is one of those. Fairly average scenery though, the only thing. They're also the only current developer behind Antigua's VC Bird International. Yeah, Order Break 3 is pretty strong anyway, to be fair. If it was more Skiathos length, another couple of 100 meters shorter, it'd be Auto Brake Max. I'll probably go Flap 40 as well. But Flap 30, Auto Brake 3 should be fine with reversers assisting us as well. Living the Dream says, bought St. Kitt's for mini builds this morning. Flew in before lunch and it's gorgeous, he says. Nice, that's good to know. Powerful words. Sounds good. Be careful though, the runway is at a different level from the taxiway. Ah. Interesting. As in, is it higher in altitude or is it lower? San Juan's closing, of course they are. Brilliant. Imagine coming online knowing you've got all this traffic coming towards you to then just log off. Runway is higher, right, so I suppose your speed coming off the exits then can really run away from you. Flight Tampa's fantastic, James. They are one of the best developers. Manager says I used to have a Commodore 64 747, showing my age now. Oh. You're all covered out of the woodwork now. Me too. This one's got the heads-up display. Although I never use it really. Just find it very distracting. Tony, welcome buddy. Joining us as a bronze frequent flyer. New channel member, thank you for your support. Make sure you link your YouTube account into your Discord user settings and it'll get you access into our club lounge section of our Discord server. Dominican Rat, welcome. No worries at all. That is in fact, well, that part of the island is in fact Haiti. The Hispaniola Islands, I think, something like that. You've got Haiti on one side, capital of Port-au-Prince, and you've got a border which apparently is incredibly violent and very dangerous for you to go near as a tourist. And then you've got the Dominican Republic, which is the bit that we can kind of see at the moment. So in fact, there's the bit of land that joints out, and we've got the kinky bit that comes up. Then you've got the little the where is it? Let's see. I'm trying to map this now in my head. There's the kinky bit, and then you've got the little knob that comes out there on the coast. So literally where that little bit is there, that's the border. So behind us, from that line where my cursor is Haiti, and then you've got the Dominican Republic all alongside us at the moment as we fly past. And then on the nose, off in the horizon, through the haze, Puerto Rico, which we can't quite see just yet. Every stream is a free flying lesson, Tony. You should know that by now. David's first computer he owned was a Spectrum 48, but did program on a friend's ZX80 with the 16K expansion brick. Oh, K is in kilobytes. Oh. It's ours. Welcome to you as well. Thank you very much. Welcome aboard. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't entered the giveaway yet, guys, then you have got plenty of time left to be in with a chance to win a copy. We've got one to give away. All you got to do is be subscribed, and then in the live chat answer the following question correctly. What is the capital city of St. Kitts and Nevis? Right on cue. Nightbot drop in the chat too. James, yeah, it is, yeah. I've been to Rio de Janeiro. Elements of it, very, very dangerous. Tropical Sim apparently have done a really nice Punta Cana. Oh dear. Of course it is, Ian. Why would it not be? Oh dear. That's probably why he logged off. Where is it? Hold on. Usually it's a different icon, isn't it? There he is. Peter, flying out of MBPV to the Turks and Caicos Islands. He's headed out of Providencial. He's about to intercept Carlito, Osprey 784 in the Concorde. No screenshots. We're just literally gripping on for dear life. Lots of screenshots though from myself. Loads in fact. All onto Valanta so far for today's live stream. Very cool. They'll all of course go onto Discord as well, and I'll pick a couple. There's David as we zoomed past earlier. Was it in the other image as well? He's literally just there. I took one as well over the window. Maybe I didn't. Oh, it's in a random order anyway. And that's our progress so far. Pretty much, we're coming up to the 3/4 of the waypoint. Not long to go at all. SLH Sim Design, welcome, joining us in the live chats. Great to have you with us today. And congratulations releasing the new scenery for Microsoft Flight Simulator. But to be honest, before this one I'd not actually heard of you. Do forgive me for that. But I'd not heard of you up to that point. In fact, I'm on your website now, and I didn't even realise you've got loads of products for Microsoft Flight Simulator. You've got Pointe Pietre, Benjamin Riviera, TJCP, Culebra, Clayton J. Lloyd International, TQPF, Terence B. Letsum as well. Well, that's not MSFS though, is it? Interesting. La Desirade, TFFA. Guadeloupe. So we've got Guadeloupe scenery from SLH Sim Designs. Culebra. Not sure where that is though, in the Caribbean. Clayton J. Lloyd's and Anguilla. And La Desirade on it's a tiny little general aviation airport by the looks of it there on the eastern side of Guadeloupe apparently, on the south shore. Deeper Mental says Culebra is close to Puerto Rico, good hop with a prop. Absolutely, SLH Sim, yeah, 100%. Better sooner rather than later, of course. I'm always open to emails though, always open to emails. So if you were going to be releasing something and you wanted us to have a little look and preview it perhaps, then you could just drop me an email and I'm always happy to have a look. Certainly around this part of the world. We don't stream and explore the Caribbean enough, really. You know, across most content creators, I don't think we do that much, to be fair. Yeah, you'll be on max brakes and full reverse, Liam. 100% there for you in the A330, I think. I think the last time we flew around the Caribbean was we flew in on Concorde into Barbados, but at the time we're very limited on what scenery is available in the Caribbean. I know Tropical Sim have done a lot of work themselves. Nice to explore somewhere new. If you guys have got questions for SLH Sim Design, if it seems they are in the live chat today, then fire away. Sure, they'll be more than happy to answer. Top of descent in about 240-ish miles, I think. Rab's zooming along himself. Go to the progress page. There you go, 220 nautical miles to top of descent. There we go. And expected fuel 4.5 tons on arrival. Thank you to everybody who's hit the like button so far as well. Really appreciate that. And if you want to have a look at some of our new merch, do check that out. We've got some epic new merchandise. We're custom made for the channel as well. Really, really nice. Matthew F took delivery of his sticker pack and t-shirt the other day after a couple of days in production and delivery. Really fast, actually. But very, very good quality by the looks of it. They look fantastic. Absolutely living the dream, yeah. British Airways fly St Kitts from Heathrow on the 777-200ER. Stops in Antigua, and then it's a 250-minute shuttle service. Yeah, so a lot of the airlines that operate around the Caribbean operate from the UK at least, will operate these fifth freedom flights where they will fly from, for example, Heathrow or Gatwick to Antigua. They'll take everybody off, a lot of the cargo and everything off as well, because the aircraft needs to be nice and light. And then at that point, At that point, you want to then basically be able to change, reduce the weight of the aeroplane to then fly the next leg with, say, 40 or 50 passengers on board, a lot less cargo, a lot less fuel, down to somewhere or up to somewhere like St. Kitts and Nevis or Providencial. They do these frequent flights. Antigua to Grenada was one of them for a little while. It was about 40-50 minutes. I was chatting to a senior first officer at British Airways the other week, and a lot of the older pilots, older as in length of service, hate the shuttle services. But he was saying he absolutely loves it because it's more similar to the old flying he used to do when he was flying the European sectors and things at Ryanair. When he was flying at Ryanair, this chap I was chatting to, he said he liked the intensity of pretty much hand flying a 777 for 30 minutes. And then showed me a video, really cool, showed me a video that the air traffic control tower took at, I think it was Grenada. It might have been Trinidad Tobago, one of them, I'm not sure. But effectively, showed me a video of the control tower operator videoing him land. And then he called him up and said, would you want to come down and have a look at the flight deck? And she sent him the video of him landing in the 777. Really, really good chat. Yeah, Peter, you've got to work out your sequencing, buddy, with Osprey 495 and 784. You've got to make sure, Peter, you're fitted in behind them. Absolutely, SLH. So it's quite cool that they do that. I wanted to book a holiday to Grenada because I wanted to do the shuttle service from Antigua. So you would fly to Antigua, but you would stay on the plane, and then they would turn around and zip on down to Grenada. But just a bit of a weird, isn't it? It's yeah, who knows? 8, 9, 10 hours later, you just want to get off and start your holiday, don't you? You don't want to then think I've got another 1 hour. Yeah, currently it's done via St. Lucia, but at the time when I flew to Antigua, the hop there was on to Grenada, which is why it's in my head. But yeah, British Airways at the minute operating via St. Lucia is living the dream, as said. And that way they try and cover a lot of the more remote or smaller Caribbean islands, fitting them into the service that they would otherwise operate, because they wouldn't necessarily be able to do it directly from Gatwick or Heathrow due to weight. SLH Sim Design, are you based in the Caribbean then? If that's kind of your focus area in the sim development side of things. And how have you found developing for Microsoft Flight Simulator? Oh, brilliant. Why has the drone camera done that? Liam. Nobody can accidentally direct to a waypoint, especially when you have to execute the change. No such thing as an accidental direct to. Very nice. SLH Sim Design from Anguilla, home of his first scenery, Clayton J. Lloyd, TKPK. Oh, we very nearly did ATR 42 hops with Liat, SLH Sim Design. But then we kind of did a little bit of a member vote in the lounge, and the popular choice was Miami. Out of the 3 available, Miami to St. Kitts and Nevis. Puerto Rico on the nose coming up. That's what we can see ahead of us at the moment on the horizon. We're just prior to the horizon, in fact. We'll be drawing a diagonal line across that closing in nice and quick now on St. Kitt's. So what have we done so far? We have kind of prepped very nice and early, to be fair. It's given us a lot less to do before top of descent. San Juan Center's gone offline, so we're just going to stay on Unicom. We've tuned the NDB for Robert L. Bradshaw International 325, and then we've got the corresponding VORs tuned in as well, 1120, nav1 and nav2, but we've got at the minute ADF1 toggled for the NDB into St. Kitt's and VOR2 for the VOR as well, but neither of which we're actually going to use for the approach. It's more of a visual point of reference in case we have issues on the RNAV approach. Instead, we could just revert to a bit of manual flying perhaps and use the VORs to help guide us instead if it all goes a bit peak-tong. So it's there as a contingency instead. But as we mentioned, we're expecting the RNAV 07. And we've done our descent forecasts as well. Having a look at the charts for the approach, we could add some fixed rings in. Yeah, AnyBuilds Heathrow on sale today. They're doing the, I'm getting these daily emails from AnyBuilds about this, the mayhem promotional stuff. They're kind of expecting me to promote it every single day, but I'm not a paid content creator for them, so I've got no interest. If that makes sense. It's being pinged out all over the place, all over the community, on Discord, emails, all the rest of it. If you're on their Discord server, you would have 9 minutes ago had an everyone ping from AnyBuilds about it as well. Heathrow AnyBuilds, London Heathrow on sale for $9.99 for 24 hours only. I'm not here to promote everything. Do you know what I mean? Especially when it impacts other things. Crosswind has increased runway 7 to 10 knots. It has actually, yeah, on the left hand side of the screen, well pointed out. You've got the indications there at Bradshaw International 07, crosswind 10 knots, headwind 10 knots. Quite powerful. It's just going to be quite interesting. What were we looking for? I've completely forgotten. We were talking about something, then I read that comment about AnyBuilds Heathrow and I got totally sidetracked off tangent. Fondo du Solemeter. You know what we need to do actually, just as a point of reference here? Check the arrival. So Gabba, Amono, Lomdo at 3,200. So I'm going to change that. And I want to be at 180 knots there as well actually. Execute. It's going to make the VNAV recalibrate itself. Dussel at 2,000. So it'll be level at 2,000 through Dussel to Ameta, which is about 2 miles. About 3 miles will be level 4 on the cross section there. And then from 2,000 feet at Ameta, starting a 3.45 degrees descent angle, tiny bit steeper than what we usually have, down to runway 07, visual reference point. Basically, you've got to be visual with the runway at 2.9 miles. Autopilot, auto thrust will come off as well. We'll hand fly the last little bit, probably from 1,000 feet again. That's what we usually like to do. Minimums there are 1,270 feet, so we need to make sure that's in as well. And we've briefed for the missed approach already, so if we abort the approach for any reason, we've just got to fly straight ahead over the runway, climbing to 3,000 feet direct to Ugdell on track 071 degrees. It's 13.1 miles from the end of runway 07 to Ugdell to join the hold. That's what the missed approach procedure is. We can add a fixed ring in though, that's what I was going to do. So we've got 5 miles and 8 miles, that'll do. We'll do runway 07. 5 and 8. So we've added 2 fixed rings in for the approach. Pressurizations panels set as well. We've set 150 feet for that. And we just need to do the minimum. So CDFA is already factored in, so we're just going to tune 1270 for the decision altitude MDA. We're doing this well in advance of top of descent, but it's unlikely to be changed anytime soon. SLH sim, epic. In real life, that is awesome if that is the case. Very, very cool. One 270. Our planned landing weight today is 62.7 tons. So in here, going to just add that in now. And we mentioned we're going to do flap 30 with order brake 3. So we're going to select it, add it in, so we get that reference speeds down the bottom there. Interesting, it just says ref 145 there. There's no 30 slash that we usually are used to. And we want auto brake 3. Puerto Rico down below. Anybuilds Heathrow Agent Tech Streams is incredibly good, but it depends on what system you've got. If you've got a lower end system, it's going to really struggle. SLH Sim Design saying earlier on, I love developing for the sim. From a sales perspective, it's a bit saddening for reasons you may know, but that I can't say obviously, but otherwise it's wonderful. Yeah, people robbing your scenery and all of your hard work along with it and sticking it on some scummy Russian website. I'll say it how it is. It's a horrible thing to do. Especially when people put hard work and effort and time into developing something they're passionate about, for it the work to then be stolen from them. And then for people to... I mean, it's just as scummy downloading a cracked item, to be honest. We had somebody, Zato. Oh no, he's looking nice and clear now. Right behind us at some point. Good question, I don't know the answer to that myself actually. James asking there, SLH Sim Design, is the airport's interior built as well for St Kitts? San Juan in 40 miles, up there somewhere. In fact, there it is, just off in the distance. Latin VFR have got a scenery for San Juan, it's quite nice. Oh, I'm not sure about the AMD graphics card stuff, how it would run Heathrow. There are people in the live chat much more tech savvy than I am that probably know from just what you've written there whether or not you'd be fine with the Anybuilds Heathrow or not, but it is a remarkably nice bit of scenery. Hugely detailed, there's a lot of detail everywhere across the entire airport, it's all really quite nice. Alex, welcome, hello to you. Hope you're well. I always think it's weird that Puerto Rico is classed as a US state. Yet it's so far away from the rest of America. I can't work out why. No, Alex, I don't, unfortunately. Well, not a state, but I'm trying to think what the word is. US territory, you put it there. Didn't they get added into the flag or something like that? They, as a star or something a little while ago. Unless I've got that entirely confused. That's mad, isn't it, Clipper? If you're paying tax, you should be able to vote. Maybe that's just a weird way of me thinking about it. Overthinking it, perhaps. Alright, that's mighty weird. It is hot in my room, yes. I've got my blinds closed to try and keep it all nice and cool. Haven't yet fired up my air conditioning unit. Might have to do that at some point as the temperature heats up towards the middle of summer. True, but then the Commonwealth's very different, isn't it? Because so, for example, people in Antigua don't pay UK tax. Here's a question for you guys that might know that because it's just pinged into my head then. So how does Puerto Rico differ from Hawaii? There's a question. It actually hurts my brain trying to think of the answer. I don't actually know. Hello Michael, welcome. We're going deep in conversation now before top of descent. Yeah, but that's my point. So, why is Hawaii a state, yet it's just as far away from Los Angeles, yet Puerto Rico isn't? Or is it because, as Dwal said there, because of the issues about the Spanish-American War and all of that old stuff from hundreds of years ago? I think we're getting a history lesson. I love it. But so then, my next question there, David, is at what point do you apply distance to it? Because obviously in the UK, we're part of the Commonwealth, and there is a distance factor to that because there's countries all across the world, but we are all part of one Commonwealth together. Yeah, I suppose that makes sense, Clipper, as well. Hawaii is seen as a massive military advantage, so yeah, sure, you could be a state. And then, yeah, I suppose distance isn't an issue, just politics. That just confuses me more. Here's one for you. Hawaii is the only US state to have the Union flag in their state flag. What? I don't get it. So confusing. Now I wish I never asked. 35 miles to top of descent. History is a confusing thing, David. No, James. Canada's part of the Commonwealth. They're their own nation in their own right. Always wanted to go to Canada. It's meant to be really nice. Clip says we've been trying to get DC as a state for years since it's split between Maryland and Virginia and pay tax, but we have no representation in Congress. Their slogan is taxation without representation. That's just yeah, that's just weird. How is it any good for the people living in that area? It just isn't, is it? And then in my head, somebody living in the UK, I guess, I'm like, well, how can you not vote yet you are expected to pay tax? It's so strange. Oh, I don't know, I don't get it. That's pretty much how it boils down, isn't it? The Pimental there, summing it up. It's more about the balance of power. Which is a shame, because in a way, a democracy isn't a democracy. And now we're getting really deep. Yeah, well, I've thought about it a few times. I've had people that I've worked with in the past that they've gone to Canada and they've got family in Canada. It's just they've got nothing bad to say about it. It's just a remarkable place, a remarkably nice place in every way, from how they describe it. Correct, yeah. Australia for many years was effectively an island that we, as British people, years and years and years and years and years ago, would send our prisoners to, and we just dumped them on the island. That was Australia. I mean, that's a very simple sum up of of the history. Obviously more complicated than that, but. Right, top of descent set. We've got VREF set, minimum set, standard pressure not set. What is the QNH? Let's check the METAR via the live chat. TKPK. QNH 1016. Let's get it tuned. 1456. Bingo. Water brake 3 is set. MCP set. Landing elevation is set. Anti-ice not required. Seatbelt signs are on automatic. And the arrival data is set and checked. Just 2 pages left. VNAV path, FNC speed, down we go. I'm going to revert back now to VNAV speed. Clipper, nice, thank you. Very, very kind, Matt. New Jersey. David says the ATR VNAV played ball today. Nice. It's great to see how that's slowly improving as well and still being worked on. But, by all accounts, it sounds like holds are still a total mess in the ATR. Weirdly enough, like they are in the CLJ. Still. Fuel's good, balance is good. And even though we're not flying a VOR approach, I'm just going to set course of 071 here. More so for me as a visual reminder, visual cue. I might set it on that one as well, just to. Because we've got the VOR set to VOR 2, haven't we? So I'll be good. I'll set both courses just in case. Still out of range on both VOR and NDB though. Little airport there. That is. Where are we flying over at the moment? It's the US Virgin Islands, in fact. That is Henry E. Rolson Airport we just saw. British Virgin Islands are to our aircraft left, up there. And we've got St. Martin, good old Princess Juliana, up there somewhere. Underneath that cloud actually, I think, roughly. Plus Anguilla, in fact, as well. No, RNAV 07, David. As always, once we get on the ground, we get the engines shut down on stand. That's when we're going to think about closing the giveaway draw before we then roll a winner. We'll find out who's won a copy of this new SLH sim design scenery. The link for which, if you do think when we get there that looks really good, I want a little bit of that, I'll buy it. The link is in the description for today's live stream as well. VSync is... Oh, I can't remember, Andy, to be honest with you. Yeah, I can't remember. I feel like VSync is on. I'm not sure. It will be in the I did a settings video recently on the channel about 3 weeks ago roughly, where I showed everybody my settings now with the RTX 4090, so do have a little look at that, because I think the answer might be in there, but I'd have to watch that back to find out myself, or have a look at the menu, but I tend to not fiddle with the menu at all when we're in flight, because it tends to cause me problems. I'm not sure if I've got it switched on or off. Deep Mental's looking forward to the Aerosoft A330. Me too. Its progress so far looks really nice on it, doesn't it? The little bits that we've seen from the Aerosoft team, showing little bits here and there. But as you're saying, a decent fidelity wide body will be a welcome addition to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Certainly for things like across the pond, even just general enjoyment of the sim with a wide body that's got a good level of complexity to it. I don't like whiskey, James. The only things I really drink: gin and tonic, red wine, and Guinness. That is it. Don't drink anything else. Ashton, nice, on the way in. 1,000 feet. So nicely into the descent now. I wonder what I never use the heads-up display, but I wonder what it looks like at the moment. I might leave it on for a bit just to see what it does, because it's something I never use. I'm tempted to try it for the approach, I'm not sure. Literally MPS going, yeah. It's weird for a 737 to have a heads-up display, I think. Does it need one? But I feel like it's just an unnecessary airline option that would probably cost the airline an extra £100,000. It's interesting watching it work though, to be fair. 100% yes, City Mill. It's so good. This is my solid favourite at the moment, by a long shot. Really enjoy it. And then probably second to that, to the 737NG series, just generally, I think, oddly enough, is probably the ATR at the minute. Followed by maybe the Just Flight 146 and the Fenix matched up with the A320X. I think that would be my, I'll say top 3, but realistically it's top 5, but quite a few aeroplanes enjoying third. But this is the one I by far get the most enjoyment from, and you have to learn it. You have to learn all of its quirks, how to operate all of the different systems on it, otherwise you will have problems. It's just great fun. I feel like it's the perfect sim aeroplane, you get a lot from it. Andy, there we go, good, thank you. So yeah, VSync's off. Thanks for checking. 100% David. And I was one of the lucky ones with I was in the very small 120 or so people that got charged the full price with Premium Deluxe. So about a week ago they refunded me the total value. Lazarus, nice, different there. Top 3 for him, Flubber White A320X, followed by the BA 146, and then the analog King Air. That's nice, huge difference there between the 3 aeroplanes actually, it's nice to see. Yeah, I couldn't believe it, David. Huge goodwill gesture. They're basically, the 120 of us that had been affected by this weird little momentary bug for about 30 seconds in the marketplace, they basically refunded us the full cost, and then they, in the email, said that we are also able to continue to enjoy the ATR, and it will remain in our marketplace anyway. Really nice gesture. Yeah, got the refund ramp. Now I'm thinking next time they release an aeroplane, jump on it really quick and hope you get the same problem so you get another refund. And just get loads of free aeroplanes. I'm sure they'll make it never happen again. But yeah, good customer service recovery from Microsoft there. God damn it. Yeah, 100% people would try and trigger it again though. Automated good morning to you, welcome. Welcome to the start of a weekend set of streams. How are we doing? 40 miles to Gaba. David says flew the flyby for the first time in a long time. Very nice experience. Yeah, they've made remarkable progress. Beast Boy, good to hear. Thanks for updating us. Tight duck's arse, you mean, Andy? Why are we decelerating so early here? Because we're coming up on Gaba really quickly. I'm going to stay in speed intervention mode here. I'm going to have a little bit of speed brake.
To prepare for landing, please close your tray table and put away carry-on items. Place your seat in the original upright position. We will now collect any items you wish to discard.
It is Spawn Gaming, yes.
Please put away larger electronic devices, including laptop computers.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
James paying zero attention.
Handheld devices in your hand or seat
Yeah, that's
pocket.
the dancing needle on the nav
Devices
display.
must remain in airplane
Is
mode
the
until
ADF
after we
just
land.
coming into range?
We will be
Just the
landing
NDB,
soon.
right on the edge of its signal strength. So it's telling us it's getting it, just not locked on yet. Now it has, look. And at the very bottom it's confirmed SKB. Not sure I like the heads-up display. Oh, you mean that one? Little needle wiggling away. I'm going to get rid of the heads-up display. Never been a fan of it. Wiggle wiggle, yeah. And there's our first sight of the island. Right on the nose.
St. Kitt's traffic, Osprey 490 is 25 miles to the west. We're expecting RNAV 07. We'll report established. St. Kitt's traffic.
Let's go back to FMC speeds, VNAV speed. Lights, signs. About 15 minutes to landing now. Thank you to everybody who's hit the like button so far as well. It's great to see you guys all tuning in on the weekends and flying along in such great numbers. If you are tuning in thinking about what's happening tomorrow, we are flying a Headwind A330 again for the first time in a long time, and we'll be flying their special development branch around Canada. We're having a look at FSIM Studios' new Calgary International Airport for the first time as well, released yesterday I think, or the day before. And the cabin is depressurizing nicely there. Yeah, we are above VNAV a little bit. It's fluctuated a few times now. We're just kind of using a bit of spoilers, speed brake as and when we can. It will chase it back pretty quick, to be fair. It's pretty good at that. There we are. We'll preempt getting back on VNAV path. Look at the heck. Look at that for a jump. My goodness. It's the first time I've seen it being a bit wonky, actually. Now we're below the VNAV path. Oh well. I'll set 2000 because that's what we're going to go down to. Well, VNAV's usually pretty solid with the .737, to be fair. Speed, what the... There's the VNAV path again. See what it does in a minute. It's like speed's gone all over the place. Can't be the wind, it's only 12 knots. So now I'm going to go back to speed brake because I want to be below 250 knots naturally. Oh, you know what? If in doubt, just take over. Deal with it yourself. So it's traffic. American 318 is inbound, passing GABA 8000. QNH 106 inbound for the RNAV approach runway 07 via GABA. Will report final. St. Kitt's traffic. Go to music. It's time to focus. Go for speed brake extension again. Sort my chair out. 18 knot crosswind at 2000 feet, Rab says. Ashton saying there the wind's pretty rough as well. We'll play it by ear because VREF's 145. So adding 5 would give us 150 knots for approach, but if the wind starts to become quite variable or a little bit choppy or unpredictable, then we might have to add 10 instead, which means that we'll increase our approach speed to 155 knots. Here we go. So in fact, we're going to leave it on LNAV. And we're going to be descending with speed brake extended.
Thank you, traffic.
As we make our way in. The airport is just there for the first time.
Thank you, traffic. American 46,400 inbound waypoint Gabber. We will call when we are on the base for the RNAV runway
Hey, what do you think?
09er.
We're all saying 07.
07.
Standard pressure. Londo coming up. And 229's good for flaps 5. So I'm going to extend flap 2 initially, just to bring flaps out a little bit. What that's going to do is give us a little bit more drag on the aircraft, which will help us decelerate. So it's all about speed and energy management now, because we are kind of trying to decelerate. So speed's still good now, we'll try flap 5. Charts ready. Be 1400 foot per minute. Do 1200 foot per minute actually. Okay, final checks. Lights, signs, ignition mode's automatic anyway, so that's fine. I won't fiddle with those in this particular variant. That's all good. Overhead panel's good. Pressure panel looks good. Final ding. Landing in bounce. We might have a problem here then. So we might end up going around if I've been a bit too quick on descent here. David's only 7 miles ahead of us. As I get to traffic, American 318 is reducing to final approach speed now, 10 mile final number 2. It's at runway 07.
St. Kitts traffic, American 6843, slowing down to 240 knots.
So everyone else behind now ideally needs to start to take the speed away.
The correction, make that 220 knots for American 6843.
10. Gear down, flap 15. Spoilers away, spoilers arms. So chasing it a little bit, but here we go. Up the dirty flaps, look at that. Such a great aeroplane this. Lap 30. 150. So I'm doing this now to help David, who's on final ahead of us. He's on short final about 6 miles ahead. Get down, get to the end of the runway, backtrack and vacate just as we're coming in. So hopefully we've timed this nicely.
When we're on final approach.
Water brakes set. Speed brakes arms, parking brake is off, lap 30 set green, gear down 3D green and locked. 2000 is coming up, and then we want 3000 for the missed approach, so I'm going to set that now. Control visualizer. So bottom left of the screen you will see the controls inputs that I'm making on the aeroplane. Auto throttle off. .175 for the crosswinds. Cool. Autopilot off. And St. Kitts traffic, American 318 is 4 mile final, speed 150 knots, runway 07.
Hey look, I'll just wait down here at the end of the runway if you want.
That is fine. I'll work around you. If I have to go around, I'll go around.
I'll stay at the end.
I'll say if you don't know first St. Kitts traffic, just speed 190 knots.
St. Kitts traffic, American 6843, turning final for runway 07. We will call 5 miles out.
+100.
So continue. So we're pointing at the moment over there towards those bumpy hills, but we're actually flying, we're tracking towards the runway because of the 22 knot crosswind.
1000.
I want to see if David's off or not yet.
I am off. Just down at the end.
Wilco, thank you. I'll continue. That works for you.
Yeah, it's fine. You can just pull it behind it. I'll flip around and we'll go touch back.
We're going to share the runway.
100.
There's the windsock on the left.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Board in the flare. Almost a go around there. Touchdown zone. Reverse green. Pushing forwards on the stick from the nose wheel steering, and we are decelerating 90 knots now. Ah, David, thank you very much. That is kind of you.
First think of traffic, turn left, first time on 07.
So Kitt's traffic, American 318 is vacating at Charlie. David, you got space now.
Yeah, Osprey 490 is backtracking 25.
Oh look, there's a silver ATR. Spoilers, flaps, order brake. There we go. So top left, you'll see the landing rate monitor thing from Parallel 42's FlowPlo's landing rate widget on flightsim.co that you can download. There's the touchdown. It's in the touchdown zone, but we just had that one square left, so if we'd have almost hit that, we were going to have to go around. But a nice touchdown indeed. Very happy with that. I've got to find stand one.
There's 10 miles final, runway 07, speed 160 knots.
1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, so 1A it is.
Osprey 490 is
The
clear
chosen
07.
position is too small for your aircraft.
No, it's not. Strobes. Lights, taxi.
For your comfort and safety, please remain seated and keep your seatbelt fastened until the captain turns off the seatbelt sign. Please leave
Nice and slow and careful as we park. There's a lot going on.
Clear until the seatbelt sign has been turned
off. First think catch traffic, continue cruise, speed 145 knots.
Oh look, animated flags, very nice.
The overhead bins because baggage may have moved and could fall out.
Very cool.
American Airlines and
the drain there is a bit of a weird texture.
For flying with us today. We hope to see you again soon on another American Airlines flight.
But otherwise, quite nice.
Welcome to, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be arriving at gate T9, and your baggage claim will be number 10. Baggage claim for American Airlines here, and that is across from gate T12 down the escalators. The escalators across from gate T12.
Such a pointless announcement for us here.
Escalators, carousel number 10. On behalf of all the employees of American Airlines, we'd like to thank you for flying with us, and once again, thank you for flying American Airlines, a member of the One World Alliance.
Literally on the line. I get it. A lot of people very brunched up there on final. That's going to be a go around at least for whoever's number 2, surely. There's no GSX profile sadly, so we're kind of just having to guess. That's going to be as good as we're going to get. Just going to have to ignore him because it's there's no custom GSX profiles sadly. I wish scenery developers spent a bit of time kind of creating them now, especially for these more simple airports. Oh look at that, 737 MAX 8 with the split scimitar. APU's good.
Thank you. Traffic Osprey 2470.
Oh yes.
Enter into the hold at
Lead.
Rondo for 1 orbit to give separation. Thank you. Traffic.
Menu. FS actions, ground services, chops.
For tonight, flying runway 07, catch traffic.
Ticket traffic, American 6843, vacated 07.
This parking is too small.
Let's do deboarding, see what it does. David, have a good one, buddy. We shall see what happens with GSX default brain trying to do all of this. Him in the A330, although the headwind A330 doesn't load in here anymore, unfortunately. So you get that weirdness going on, but therefore we have absolutely no idea how well that touchdown was. There's the windsock blowing away though, across the runway, really nice, making it a bit tricky. It'd be really easy to create a custom profile for this airport actually, because there's only a few main stands for a lot of the aeroplanes.
Australia for vacation at Charlie.
Look pretty good though. There comes the passenger bus. Around the edge of the airport building, which is nice to see. Look at this. Let's get some tunes. A couple of folks strangling around outside. Last little bit of heat before they head back to wherever it is in the world they're based. Ooh, look at that. Nice little stone effect on the wall there. And a good old reminder, no guns, no knives. They are bad for planes. And there is an interior look for departures. Yes, found it. The British Airways check-in desk.
Passengers departing
Epic.
starting.
Yeah, that's nice. Look at that. They've actually even put in the British Airways hand baggage tubs.
Charlie, turning left on final.
Couple of wheelchairs there for passengers with reduced mobility. And then it kind of goes upstairs, which kind of goes into nothing, but that is fine. Some ships in the distance. It's in the port.
Osprey 569 Charlie, Osprey 2472, I'll do an orbit at Londo behind to give you
nice.
route to make your landing and vacate.
Yeah, thank you very much. I did a circuit just before GABA for the same reason. I get the
Zato butted it, very good. They've had an argument.
No worries, all good.
Departures, departures. Is this more departures? Oh, it is. Nice. Where's the arrivals? I don't know. Air Canada there. Wonder what's in here then. Oh! Departures Lounge. Oops, I'm in a ball. How cool is that? When the 777 comes out for Microsoft Flight Simulator, how cool will it be to be able to fly, say, Gatwick to Antigua, and then do the Freedom Flight service, the shuttle, Caribbean British Airways shuttle from Antigua to St. Kitts, for example, or wherever it is that they originally go to when the service is into play, like St. Lucia or wherever it might be. How fantastic is this going to be? Operating 777s into these remote destinations, really testing our mettle. A remarkably nice part of the world. AR simulations there in the Silverjet, the airline of the Flamingo paint scheme. And a solar farm, look, welcome to SKB. It's about $14 US, I think, $15 US, off the top of my head.
Traffic, Osprey 569 Charlie.
How cool is that? Need to close the flight on New Sky. I got 9.95 off centerline takeoff apparently. That's a little bit disappointing. Stand's filling up. I was going to check. Yeah, so the passenger bus there is coming out. Ideally, we would do a custom profile that brings people across there. Let's watch some touchdowns. We've got plenty to watch. Yeah, absolutely, Rab. Yeah, 100%. They've even put in here, look, the kind of like the water drain pipes. Protect the runway.
Traffic has got 205 and back to cover 377 feet.
What I loved as well, I noticed it on the approach. You've got this little roundabout. So once we've watched this first touchdown, we're going to head to that roundabout, watch a couple landing another one there. And then we'll try and spot from the tower.
1 mile. I think you just passed the left hand side.
$10,000 profit though. Happy days. New sky, ka-ching. We need to have a look to see what this looks like at night as well, actually. How many arrivals do we have? Do we know? Oh, welcome on board. Thanks for subscribing. Oh, looks a bit sideways. He's got it stable though. Oh, a little low. He's down. Nicely done. Ships in the background.
Thank you, traffic up 242, exiting the hold at Longbow.
7.
We'll
Epic.
line up for runway 07.
Dart, have a good one, buddy.
Kitt, traffic Osprey 569 Charlie is clear of runway 07, taxiing the stand, the remote stand. Thank you.
Nice runway textures. Nice to see that they've done it kind of a little bit St. Bart's-esque, isn't it, with the runway here. Oh, not runway, the roundabout. A couple of adverts there as well, plotted in. I assume this is a bit of a well-known kind of plane spotting spot, perhaps. I'm not sure. On approach. You then have the airport there.
The boarding starting.
It's literally on a hill, isn't it?
Bradford traffic Osprey 495 inbound on Mono. We'll enter hold.
Let's check out the tower, because the tower's on the north side. We just whip the time tonight. About there. Bit far. There we go. Apron lighting looks quite nice from a distance. We'll come and have a look at the control tower again in a moment, but there is glass there which suggests there's an interior over the fire station. Zip. I wanted to see what it looks like. Look at that backdrop, folks, as well, with the city below. And the port as well, the ships in the background. How good does that look at that? Looking really good.
Osprey traffic has got 205, cover 3,000 feet.
And inside for the lights.
Thank you, traffic Osprey 2472 at Duffel. 2,300 feet.
And there's the departures lounge. That does look very cool, actually.
Speed 20 knots. 200 knots, correction.
Yeah, nice. Got somebody on short final. Let's try and zip into the tower quick. Staring intensely at the approach path. Ooh, is that the old tower? Look at that. That is cool. There's the fire station. Ah, with custom sign. A little bit pixelated, but it's nice that the attention to detail is there. And just an empty tower. I suppose you're not really on a flight sim meant to really go in here, but put something in there, I suppose. There's the touchdown zone. So the touchdown zone's there. It's going to end roughly on our left. Delta Tango, welcome. It's down to us to kind of gauge the depth a little bit and work out our rate of descent, our vertical speed, the depth as well. Depth perception in a flight sim, we've spoke about it before, is very difficult anyway. But that approach is pretty much down to us. While we're waiting, should we draw a winner? Or should we hold you on for a few more minutes while we get a couple more arrivals? Everybody's bunching in on Volanta now. If we quickly have a quick look there.
It's
going to get very busy very quickly.
Miles out. Inbound Amudu, 2 nautical miles.
Here we go. Totally different direction to the runway.
Thank you, traffic, Osprey 2472, short final, runway 07. Thank you, traffic.
I want to see how much of an offset track there is. SLH sim design there in the live chat saying update with the tower interior is coming. They did a really good job of it at the airport. Just generally, it's really nice SLH sim design. If your other scenery is as nice, then yeah, really good work. Nice to see the Caribbean covered in nice details. He's holding that flare nicely there. Look, letting the aeroplane settle. Touchdown, right at the end of the touchdown zone as well, like we had.
Do you want to deboard through?
No, I don't. Of all the moments, GSX. He's down. He's decelerating. You notice as well the runway bits here as well, giving you a countdown, telling you how many meters are left of the runway.
Thank you, traffic, Osprey 2472. I will taxi to the end of the runway and wait for the aircraft behind before taxi.
KMIA, no.
Thank you, traffic.
Is there anything SLH sim design that you think that we might have missed that's worth pointing out? We've seen over there the roundabout. We've seen the port in the distance as well with the ships. All those dirty cruise tourists.
Think it's traffic, Osprey 784. I'm about 10 nautical miles out. I think that should give you two enough time to vacate.
What? Look at this. That's very posh. What is that? There's even Cayenne jet. My goodness. This is cool, look at that. Where all the posh people fly.
Check its traffic, Osprey 74, slowing down to 160 knots.
There's some great detail there, isn't there? Look at that. Oh, that was literally in front of us, and we didn't even notice it initially. Great taxiway textures heading up there as well. Be great taxiing down there. On the edge of a cliff, effectively. We've got 3 sets of lights. Touchdown zone, yeah, it's a very short touchdown zone actually, so you've got to be accurate. Here he comes. Anti-Fuzzo, hello to you. It's got a speed brake out and everything. Yeah, we do need a GSX profile, absolutely. It's Scott's flying Ascot. Yeah, RAF call sign. Some of their aircraft. He's down. Oh, he's bounced.
2205, you have room behind me to exit the runway as well, so preceding aircraft can land as well.
Thank you, Benson, nicely.
He says, that's kind of it, but he's literally like, whoa! trying to grab hold of the controls and slow down. Sylvie says, SLH sim designer, awesome. I've got a few from him, including St. Kitts. Nice. Also says, roads surrounding the airport should be modelled, I hope, in the future. Living the dream, I agree there, saying that we need a GSX profile. Great score, though, from your new Sky. 9k profit, 9.74 as well. Good work. Simon's asking about the drone camera settings. It's RF, W, S, A and D, and then plus and minus on my numpad to zoom, 8 to look up, 2 to down, 4 and 6. We do appreciate dynamic landings on this channel. That's why I created the hard landing emoji, got that commissioned, and got things like that. The Osprey Airways hard landing mouse mat coaster. There's a hoodie with it on as well, and all that sort of stuff. All on the merch store for landings just like that.
St. Kitts traffic, Osprey 74, 4 mile final. St. Kitts traffic.
I reckon you guys could have got off the runway in that time. So we've done the FBO. Looks really cool, that. I mean, imagine being so posh you were driven in a car, that little road, to stand 9.
Roger, control Osprey Fahrenheit. Enter, Londo, hold.
There's literally no room left there. Look at that for the departure though. How great would that be? Jetting straight over the beach. Such great scenery, just the surroundings of St. Kitts and Nevis. Spectacular. I imagine on stormy days it could be quite tricky as well with the hills. Not sure about PlayStation, Atty. Great profit, David. Good work. More than me. Looking nice. Ooh. Down. Right on the edge of the touchdown zone. Nice landing though. Held the flare, so you set the flare even though it was a little high. Didn't chase it. Really good landing. Just let the aeroplane settle. Like a pro. Osprey pro. Absolutely Delta Tango. And he's off on Charlie. Look at that. Good work. So those two now should be full beans onto the apron. There's a few miles couple of minutes before the next plane.
Traffic Osprey 495, extend the hold direct Lambda for 07.
You've got Osprey 495 and Osprey 598 in the hold. That was Osprey 784, which is Carlito, I think.
74 when we vacated.
We got Osprey 32 and Hergy.
Kitt traffic, Osprey 2472 is
out of Princess Juliana. Apparently, Peter is flying at something.
Taxiing.
There's Peter. What are you doing up there? Oh.
Traffic Ascot 2205, backtracking wrong with it.
Brilliant. just make it up as you go along. Oh, so good. Oh dear. Can't park there, mate. Cloud looks like it's coming down. Johan, epic. Shall we draw the winner? I think it's time. We've got a couple more in. We can watch all the landings still, standard. We watch everybody fly in as best as we can. We have got the time for it today, so we shall do that. We've got 4 left inbound. But we of course want to find out who has won a copy of this really nice St. Kitt's scenery by SLH Sim Design. Great route as well, Miami. Lots of options hopping around the islands from here in the ATR as well. Probably was sport game, yeah. He probably was. So, where are we? Let's see. '63 entries. Good luck to everybody who's taken part. Thank you for entering as well. I hope you've enjoyed the giveaway today. Courtesy of IndyBuilds, providing us a copy to give away for free via their platform. If you do get picked as a winner, you've got 24 hours as of now to contact me via Discord, via our Discord server. Just ping me in that, and we'll get it sorted, or via email, britishafgeek1@gmail.com, the channel's official email address. And of course we need to see your YouTube account, so I need to see the link and a screenshot to show that you are the account holder of your YouTube account, to prevent people trying to pretend it's you when it's not, if that makes sense, because that has happened in the past. So we have things in place to make sure it doesn't happen again, basically, or to prevent it happening. The answer, of course, was Basseterre. Probably pronounced that wrong. Sorry if I have. But yeah, you guys answering in the live chat, all of you seem to be spelling it correctly anyway, so well done. And the winner is, good luck to everybody, Delta Tango 529. My goodness, entered right at the end. Congratulations to you. You've won a copy of this scenery. You can ping me in the members chat as well if you want to. When's the next one? The next one's coming in, but they're like super low. I can see their nav lights like here when I zoom in. Literally there, where the cursor is. Oh. If you're wondering about tomorrow, we've still got like another 10-15 minutes left watching these landings, by the way. But if you are wondering about tomorrow's live stream, we're in the development branch of the Headwind Simulation A330-900 Neo for the first time in quite a few months now. So we'll be exploring that for the first time live and flying into the brand new F-Sim Studios Calgary International Airport, released yesterday or the day before by the folks at F-Sim Studios. We'll be flying out of Vancouver, which is another scenery that they've designed and created for the sim, over to Calgary. Then we'll be doing a turnaround and then flying off down to Flight Beam's Denver to check out their new update as well, because they not long updated that to version 2, I think, from memory. So you can see how that looks now as well. So we've got busy 2 sectors tomorrow with the A330neo, and I'm looking forward to seeing how much progress has been made with it as well, because it was great fun before, really good freeware package, and I'm looking forward to seeing it for the first time on my new computer as well. Got a great route lined up tomorrow with Osprey, and WestJet operate both sectors in real life as well, as a kind of a real alternative to the virtual airline operations for tomorrow. Small game and have a good one, buddy. We've got, yeah, I think we've got about 3 or 4 left flying in. We'll watch them all. Peter's not flying any of the published charts or any of the procedures, just buzzing around, doing random stuff. If you're doing that, Peter, you've got to make sure you're trying to fly correctly, because otherwise you might end up triggering TCAS with other people. Just buzzing around over there at the minute on Balanta, apparently. Getting it right in front of Hergy in his ATR 76, 72600. There he is. So it should be rendering in via that cloud at some point imminently. This windsock's still showing a decent crosswind. Navigraph suggesting there's a 10 knot crosswind still. Rab, yeah, there's going to be a stream on Monday and Tuesday. Effectively, both of those streams are going to be sponsored by Mini Cockpit's Mini FCU. We'll talk about that in the little ads at the start of Mondays and Tuesdays live streams, in conjunction with a post that will go live on Tuesday as well, prior to it launching on Kickstarter. Been an exciting new product for Flight Sim, certainly if you love Airbus. A330neo, oh, no, A320neo rather. Epic Rab. It might do some Alaska cargo ops Rab Monday or Tuesday. We're not sure which one of them. Here he goes. Little friendly reminder in the pin chat of all our new merchandise from our new provider. Cheaper, faster and better. Oh, great touchdown. Look at that. Showing off. Once we've watched this, I can disable the Nightbot giveaway thing. My goodness, how did he stop so fast? Remarkable.
Russian controller, Osprey 598 on final approach for runway 7.
That sounds like MPS. Good luck. Here he comes. 2 on final, in fact. Oh, and there's Peter, no doubt, just bombing in, doing something random. You guys will just have to ignore Peter on final, because it's just going to impact you. I'm sorry again.
Traffic was preferred 95, vacated the runway on Charlie.
I have no idea what he's doing. Keeps getting banned on that sim, funnily enough, for not transmitting or doing anything. Oh. I hope to God that wasn't on New Sky. Peter's entered the live stream. Oh, I love it. So funny. How is he still airborne? Oh! Landed.
Like a glove.
Oh. I have no words. Oh, so funny. Oh dear. I feel like it's induced a cough. In the back of my mind I thought, oh god, what if that's on New Sky? There goes £1 million.
Large shore control, spread 8 on final for landing on runway 7.
No. Phew. Oh, there. That's it, it's got here, they'll have no teeth left. Oh. Sipping from a straw for the rest of your life. Here we go. That's looking really good. That's the most accurate touchdown I've seen actually today so far, I think. At least on the touchdown zone. Not necessarily on the centre line though, I suppose. Good work. Hergy's coming in his, I think, is he flying in as a, is it Liat or, what's FWI? I think it might be Liat, not sure. The ATR 42. Nice, vacated well as well. Where's Peter? Peter's still taxiing. I'd have just parked on the top of the hill up there. Next one. I think, is this the last one? This is the ATR. Oh no, we've got two. FWI. This is Hergy now. Which is the last one.
Controller, by final 8, vacated runway 7.
And he's in the ATR 72, I think, by the looks of it. Here he comes, look at that. FWI. Not sure what the airline is. Yeah, Delta Tango, there is that. But we've still got FS Hub, so if you kind of don't worry about that, then FS Hub is still there for that sort of thing. I'm not worried about crashes anyway. Ideally they never happen, but sometimes they do. Instead what we try to do is just save up a couple of kind of deletes so that we can protect ourselves from effectively virtually going bankrupt. Air Caribs. What a great livery that is as well. That's a wonderful livery. Perhaps we need to look at flying them next. How nice is that? Caribs? One of them. Probably none of them. Yeah, that looks great. Look at that. Oh, there's a little bit of grass. Fuller of Spikes, thanks buddy. Really generous of you. Thanks for the super chat. Dropping in some dollar. Very kind of you. Really appreciate it. And look at that, we've filled up. With the exception of Liam, who's logged off because he was in the massive A330-900. We've pretty much filled up this stand. A couple of us are logged off as well. Maybe we need to work out some routes with Air Caribs and fly around the Caribbean a little bit more with the ATR, perhaps with St Kitt's, maybe SLH's other scenery. Wink, wink. There's that downhill thing that they were mentioning as well. As you're coming off the runway, you can really see it from here. Look at that gradient there, coming down the hill to the apron level. That's really smart, nicely done as well, actually modelled in. It's impressive, isn't it, Doc? It's always good to see. There's the fuel farm that we'd not seen until we've just popped the drone camera on top of it. I love the backdrop as well, and some of the detail here is very nice. All round good work. Congratulations to Delta Tango for winning a copy of this lovely scenery. The link for which is in the description if you want to get your hands on it. You think, I want to buy this and enjoy it, get something a bit different to what we otherwise usually fly to and around, but yeah, looking really nice, isn't it? Streamlabs catching up.
Loving the stream.
Great to hear, Fuller of Spikes. Thank you very much for your generosity, dropping a super chat, supporting the stream. Peter, don't worry, it's giving me great entertainment. Thank you very much. There we go. So, big thank you to Puller of Spikes for your super chat. Johan as well earlier on for your super chat. All of our new subscribers. And Tony F for becoming a channel member as well. Welcome on board to all of you guys. Thank you to Innerbuilds for offering us the opportunity to do a giveaway with a copy for you guys to be in with a chance to win this scenery. And thank you to SLH Simulations for SLH Sim Design for dropping into the live chat, answering our questions during the stream, and creating a new really nice product for MSFS. Tomorrow, we've mentioned it already, join us live. We're going to Canada, in the Headwind A330 Neo for a flight to the new Calgary International Airport, and then we'll be jumping over to the States and heading down to Colorado's Denver International. But in the meantime, as always, thank you very much for flying along. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a good couple of hours. Thank you to everybody who's entered as well, and I will see you all tomorrow for a little bit more madness, but this time, for the first time in a while, the Headwind Simulations A330 Neo. Thanks for watching, enjoy the rest of Saturday, and I'll see you later. Take care.